Why is it that the people who pray the most have the most of their children in the jail of this country?
Teach on it, brother. Teach it.
Yeah.
Teach it.
That's, we need to ask those kind of questions.
Teach that truth, brother.
How is it that the people who don't see color to treat all people alike, who don't get into race, the most of their children are in jail? And the other ones who see color, the other ones who deal exclusively with their ethnicity, their children are outside and their children are being fed and so forth. Is the reward then for not seeing color, for being non-racist, for not talking hate language, going to jail? Well, you better start talking hate language then. You know? Answer me this. Why is it? Okay, we'll have it. Why is it? You see, we talk about this business in this kind of situation. If God is no respecter of people, if God loves us all the same, not one group any better than the other, you get whole people being wiped out from the face of the earth. Did God love the Indians less? But no, you say he loves everybody the same. It's a dangerous kind of love, baby. Then it must say that God loving us all the same is not necessarily our basic protection. Because despite our being loved all the same and not one being held above the other, we see all kinds of inequalities in the world. And we've seen certain groups destroyed and wiped away from the face of the earth. And you know what I find amazing about that too? Is that the people who've done the greatest part of the wiping away are the people who worship the same God we do. Yeah. They pray to Jesus like we do, don't they? And yet somehow we got enslaved, and yet somehow we are brutalized and killed out here. We got to deal with some real issues here somewhere. There's something not quite right here. You know what else I find interesting? That those who were supposed to be the chosen people of God really got the others. So apparently it takes a little more than just praying. It takes a little more than just feeling like you got a special relationship to survive on this earth. Being the favorite of God apparently is not quite enough to protect you. And I can see why to a degree, because God has already blessed you with the mind. He's already blessed you with the brain. But we got some people who think it's holy not to use it.
Teacher. Right.
Yeah.
Amen. Teacher.
Yeah. They think the pursuit of knowledge is a sin.
Yeah.
The pursuit of learning is a sin. Even though this is a knowledge machine. This is a learning machine. This is a thinking machine. This is an analyzing machine, a remembering machine. And God must have put it in our heads for some reason. And for us not to use it is blasphemy. And maybe that's why those who don't use it end up ultimately going the way of perishing from the face of the earth. But we have this peculiar thing then of receiving the gift from God, as we say, and then refusing to use those gifts. And yet we expect it to be protected by God when we reject the gifts he gives us.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. Yeah, we back up in here again. First of all, let me say I gotta say, I apologize to my good sister, Cassidra. I missed it last night, doing like family stuff. So, um, that's my bad. And then, she's supposed to be on, so she's gonna come, but we gotta realize she's over in Africa right now, and where she is like 5 or 6 in the morning right now. But I'm trying, we trying to find a happy medium balance, to where we can meet in the middle. It's just my fault this week because I'm a day late, and so I do got to say, I apologize to Consider it, so she should be on here, whenever she gets an opportunity. And so the only reason why I'm starting it early now is because it is a lot of stuff, and I didn't want it to be too late, because I know, especially where I'm at, is already kind of late, and I know a lot of people probably gonna miss it. They'll see it at another time, so that's all good and everything. But um, next week we will definitely be back on time. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, right now we're just gonna and when, like I said, when Consider get here, I definitely want to hear what she got to say because these are some important topics that we're talking about here. You know, and so we're gonna keep going with the Black History thing. Like I said, we leading up to a couple weeks from now. Well, my goal is sometime in February to have the Black History book. So I definitely want to finish the Black History course. And that was supposed to be the topic to continue with the Black History thing yesterday. So we're gonna do that today. And so, that's why I'm starting it now, just so I can get through as much of it as I can, because we might not get through all of it today. So we'll have to keep going as we do. So anyway, shouts out to everybody that's listening. And we're gonna get started. Hopefully Cassandra will be on here real, real soon. So she could see some of this stuff. So, I don't have to play it twice. But like I said, it's my fault because I messed all the way up this week. So I definitely owe her an apology. All right. So let's just keep going with the Black History lesson. Now we finished all of part one, but we probably not gonna finish all of part two this time. But let's just keep going. Discovery laid the groundwork, and we saw Black resistance even from day one, all the way back when the Portuguese first started showing up in the 1430s and 1440s. There has been resistance, like the Wolof Rebellion in 1521, or the first enslaved Africans to be brought into a Spanish colony in North America in 1526. We saw how they continued to fight back. And people responded to this growing slave trade. Now, by 1575, the Portuguese already had a fort by Luanda, and they wanted full control of the area around Angola, which at the time was the Congo Kingdom and the Ndongo Kingdom. Now, originally, we saw the tribes in this area put aside their tribal differences to unite and fight back against the invaders. And by this time, they were starting to see how ruthless and savage, these Portuguese and other Europeans were. But at the time, it was mostly the Portuguese. And when they waged war, they burnt down villages, kidnapped thousands of people, took hostages. One source said they took up to 50,000 people. But you know what? These tribes put aside their differences, and they were able to defeat the Portuguese, even though they had a bigger army and more weapons. In the Battle of Lucala in 1590, they were able to push the Portuguese back and forced their governor to flee. Now, after their governor ran back home, they tried to send somebody else, but by that time, the Portuguese had lost so many people from diseases and other things, and the Portuguese were no match for these united African tribes. And of course, that second governor was forced to flee and run back home. Now, the problem is a lot of damage had already been done. There were a lot of people who got sick, and not just sick physically, but also mentally. Now, there were many Africans who did side with the Portuguese. And some of now, you see, like at the beginning of it, right? They're going for the young people, but even from the very beginning, when black people wanted to fight back, they did fight back. You know what I'm saying? And when we united, we won, right? And we'll see this common theme throughout history. But I yeah, I do got something on Angola. Um Now, one thing that's important is that they took the women and the children and the young people, right? They took the young population, right? All right, so you know what? We can wait on that. We can keep going. We can just keep going. I'll just follow it like I got it. Sided with the Portuguese for their own personal interests, which we see now in hindsight, which is 2020, that it didn't really do that much good. Now, despite all of this, they were still able to push the Portuguese back. But of course, Europeans don't just stop that easily. Now, during this time between 1590, when they pushed them back, a new ruler took over the Ndongo kingdom, which was Queen Nzinga's father. Now, I know a lot of us have heard of Queen Nzinga, but when her father died in 1617, his son, Ngola Mbandi, took over. Now, the Portuguese saw it as a weakness and they started attacking them, which lasted from 1618 to about 1622. And they were forced to negotiate with the Portuguese. Now, one of the main negotiators was Queen Nzinga herself, who went in her brother's place. And, there are stories. The famous story is how when she met with him, they didn't have a place for her to sit. So she had one of her people kneel down so she can sit like she was sitting on a throne. Now, they supposedly reached an agreement. And unfortunately, one part of that agreement was to give up some of their prisoners of war. And in exchange, the Portuguese were going to stop attacking them and, they would do trade and business. But see, we have hindsight, which is always 2020, and we know historically what has happened with Europeans and treaties. And the treaty was now I do have to have a correction that we don't have no hindsight whatsoever. Right? We still be like, oh well, we need to get a law passed for us that they will enforce. We need to side with this group. We need to side with that group. Maybe, because this isn't an original idea, right? History repeats itself over and over and over. And this is why we end up in the same situations that we do over and over and over, right? It's not a bad strategy. It just has the way we have done it, it proves ineffective. But the fact that we don't know that we have done the same strategies over and over is kind of weird. With Queen Nzinga and the Ndogo people and people of Congo was the same. They continued to attack them. They continued to kidnap their citizens because the agreement was to only take these prisoners of war, quote unquote. Now, Queen Nzinga's brother was apparently a harsh ruler, or at least harsh to her, and she was forced to leave. But when she returned in 1624, she took over as the queen. Damn, I was on mute, but I was saying, let me play this one, because seems to be the theme about history. We get so damn emotional about everything, you know what I'm saying? And we think that we can believe them. We think that we can have friends. The things that they say, if it should not, right? I'm not saying to not have emotions. I'm saying your emotions are there for a reason and you are to use them, not to be used by your emotions, right? And I'm speaking from experience. It's going to get you in trouble, going to get you hurt. And in our case, as a group of people, get us enslaved and killed. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to play this.
Somehow. So you remember when
I really just wonder when we gonna stop giving attention when they obviously fishing for it. Like the only reason they keep doing it is because they keep getting a reaction. Like if it was crickets, he probably wouldn't even do that shit again. But it's the fact that it's this big uproar and you giving them more of a following, more coverage, that more than likely they're gonna do that shit again, whether on the internet or not. Like y'all so fucking emotional. Just this gonna be the last.
And see, I'm gonna give Queen and Zinga a well. I'm not that I can give her a pass or not, but I'm saying, in my opinion, right, for what it's worth, like Queen and Zinga would get a pass because that's the first time, right? But 400 or 500 years later, and we still are surprised that they don't keep treaties, that they say stuff that you get offended by, that they're not savages. Yo, there's something wrong with that, yo.
And final time, first and final time where I'm even speaking on white people because they don't deserve a platform.
Get asked this an unfortunate amount of times, so I'm gonna
Like they don't deserve a platform. Anyway. Now, originally, after taking over, Queen Nzinga tried to strengthen the treaty they had with Portugal. But of course, we already know that there's nothing she could have done. But she converted to Christianity, got baptized, and then adopted the name Anna. But it didn't take long for Queen Nzinga to catch on and realize their treaties don't mean anything. Within 2 years, the Portuguese forced her out of the kingdom, but of course, she wouldn't give up that easily. But she chose to fight back in a different way. Queen Nzinga built an army by allowing escaped slaves into her kingdom, and she organized mercenaries who had been trained by the Portuguese. She even went out of her way to form allies with her rivals, even though there had been rivals before the Europeans showed up, but they understood it was a greater threat at hand. So they put aside their differences and united. She even went as far as marrying the chief of another tribe so that she can strengthen her army and get more soldiers. Now, she handpicked soldiers to infiltrate the Portuguese army and to get information and to attack them from within. And she also used the method of divide and conquer and used Europeans fighting with each other to her advantage. She knew that the Portuguese and the Dutch were at odds, so she aligned herself with the Dutch and basically created an anti Portuguese coalition. And she used it to keep the Portuguese back for decades. And she was able to protect her kingdom. Now, when word got back to Portugal, they sent a huge army to attack her in 1644, the biggest army she had ever faced. But Queen Nzinga and her people still won. But during that battle, the Dutch was also forced to retreat. So Portugal sent an even bigger army. Now, facing the biggest army she would ever have to face, Queen Nzinga decided to fall back and change strategies. She began using guerrilla warfare tactics. They used their knowledge of the land to their advantage. And they were somewhat successful, but it just wasn't enough. Now, Queen Nzinga continued to fight back into her 60s, even leading troops into battle in her 60s. But ultimately, she realized she had to turn her nation into a superpower to protect them. And by the time that she died, Europeans had to recognize her nation and her power. Now, going from a real queen, a real warrior like Queen Nzinga, to somebody else with the title of queen. In 1603, all right, so, and man, shouts out to Queen Nzinga. And it's a movie, it's in Portuguese or whatever, but I think that is the best one that I've seen of all the Queen Nzinga movies and stuff like that. And live action documentary, whatever, the ones that's like movies. Uh, it's damn, I forgot it. Queen Nzinga, Nzinga, Queen of the oh yeah, Nzinga, Queen of Angola is in Portuguese, so but it got English subtitles. But we should definitely shouts out to Queen Nzinga because listen, this is one of the first and we got to understand because we be like we're not our ancestors and all this other stuff, but we have the same ideas and the same straight. Like it's just that when we pass down this information, we have to come from it for one from a black perspective, but for two, make sure that we preserve this information so that we see we have the same ideas. But what happened the last time we had this idea so we can now improve upon these things, because we have all of these skills where we can do so much, we are creative and that applies to this field as well, you know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, man, I wish you know, my sister was on here. And matter of fact, I'm gonna try to give her a call real quick before I go any further because I want Cassidra to be on here, but she might be asleep, so I don't want to do that. But let me call her and see, because I could be waking her up. So y'all, y'all give me 1 second here. I'm gonna call Cassidra, and while I do that, I'm gonna play what I was playing at the beginning. So I'm sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second for this brief intermission.
I've talked about the gifts that black children have. Gifts second to none. We're given the best gifts in the world. We were the first people God ever even created.
Teacher, all right. Yes, sir.
We have minds that are second to none. Yet somehow we've been deceived into thinking that to use them is to be non-black. That means our consciousness has been created by someone else. Consciousness then is a power. It's a type of power. How much power consciousness has depends upon its level and its organizational state and its functional state. That's why other people who want to use other people seek to control their what? Their consciousness. Because one thing about consciousness, the state of consciousness you're in determines what you're capable of doing or not doing. If you're in one level of consciousness, you can do one thing. If you're in another level of consciousness, you can do another. One of the greatest problems we have to solve in trying to achieve our fullest development is knowing how to control our consciousness in such a way that we can bring to a task or a problem or something and a level of consciousness appropriate to it. You say, how to match level of consciousness, organization of consciousness with problem, with circumstance, you see, and how to be able to do that through our will. That's a very difficult task to achieve. In other words, then, when we know our body needs rest, it cannot get rest if we remain in a state of wakeful consciousness, can it? Not in the deepest sense. It cannot receive the restoration and rebuild itself as long as it's highly what? Aroused.
All right, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, so yeah, Cassidra about to be on in 1 second, y'all. So y'all give me 1 second to let her get on because I didn't want to go too far without because there's a lot of this stuff I want to hear her opinion on and s- you know, I definitely appreciate what she got to say about it. So, I definitely had to hit her up and go on. And like I said, it's all my fault for being super late, you know what I'm saying? Um and the fact that it'd be late over here but early for her. So she making like a lot of sacrifices to come on here. So I definitely gotta show her love and definitely wait for her. What up, RBG? I appreciate you for coming through, my brother. We about to resume the show in 1 second. Consider I got in contact with her. She should be coming on in 1 second. I hate to have to wake her up, but she definitely over there in Africa. Um but yeah, we're gonna keep going back with this Black History thing, you know what I'm saying? Starting with the courses, and we on part two right now. And so far we at the part with Queen and Zinga. So while we wait for that, um let me see. I wanna this is the movie that y'all should definitely watch. As far as movies go. Hey, what's going on, Cassandra? Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you, Cassandra. Can you hear me?
I'm not hearing anything. I may have to come out. I may have to go out and come back in.
Yeah, yeah. Go out, come back in.
Yeah, this thing is not. I don't hear nothing.
All right, yeah. So she gonna come right back. Um, but this is the movie that y'all should definitely check out. Well, no, they don't even have it up here, so I ain't going through all of that to find it. But anyway, let's get back to it. So anyway, the sister Queen and Zinga, one of the first people to encounter these people. You know what I'm saying? And y'all should definitely look up this sister. And she had the same ideas, the same mindset as some of us, would figure out today. But what frustrates me, what gets me angry is that we don't learn from history. We don't learn our lessons. We don't study what people did. We think that we're somehow different from our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Um, Hopefully her stuff worked because she back on here now. So what's going on, Cassandra? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry about that.
Oh no, you good, you good.
I can
I
hear you.
appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming on here.
Yes,
Um,
thank you.
you doing all right?
I am. Thanks for the invite. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good. How about you?
Oh yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm back on the history thing. It's several things because I had to get you on here. You know what I'm saying from the beginning because I wanted you to get your opinion on a couple things. Now I was talking about Queen and Zinga. You heard of her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the struggle for freedom, could
Oh,
demand
sorry.
the
Hold up.
utmost sacrifice.
Damn. All right, so let me play this again.
In the heart of Central Africa, where dense forests meet winding rivers, a story of courage and cunning was written in the 17th century. This is the tale of Nzingambande, warrior, diplomat, and queen, whose indomitable will shaped the destiny of Angola and inspired generations to come. Born around 1582 into the royal house of Ndongo, Nzinga arrived with portent. Legend says her umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck, giving her the name Nzinga, twist in Kimbundu. Her grandfather Ngola Kilombo Kia Kasenda had ruled this land, and her father Mbande Angola took the throne when Kilombo died in 1592. From her earliest days, Nzinga was schooled in the arts of statecraft. She learned the Mbundu customs of war and peace, studied Portuguese diplomats' mannerisms, and mastered multiple languages, Kimbundu, Portuguese, and the tongues of neighboring kingdoms. Though princess by birth, she carried herself with the poise of a sovereign. In 1617, tragedy struck. Portuguese forces, having founded Luanda, cracked down on Mbande's reign. King Mbande fell, some say at the hands of disloyal subjects, and Nzinga's brother Mbandi seized power in blood and betrayal. Mbandi purged potential rivals ruthlessly. Nzinga's infant son was slain. She and her sisters were spared only after brutal rituals left them unable to bear heirs. In these dark years, Nzinga learned that the struggle for the throne, like the struggle for freedom, could demand the utmost sacrifice. By 1622, Ndongo's situation was desperate. Portuguese governors demanded tribute and slaves. King Mbandi, cornered, sent Nzinga as envoy to negotiate terms. When she arrived before Governor João Correia de Sousa, she was offered a mat on the clay floor, an insult to her dignity. Nzinga paused only a heartbeat, then commanded an attendant to kneel and serve as her human chair, raising herself to eye level with the governor. That simple act of defiance sent shockwaves through the court. Nzinga's
I'm gonna skip ahead towards the end a little
peace
bit.
proved fleeting. In 1624, King Nzinga moved swiftly. Discarding feminine titles, she declared herself Ngola, King of Ndongo, a title previously reserved for men. Portugal backed a rival claimant, Ngola Ahari, driving Nzinga from her capital. Yet exile only hardened her resolve. She gathered loyal warriors, refugees, and escaped slaves, and set her ambitions on Matamba, a neighboring kingdom renowned for strong female rulers. By the early 1630s, Nzinga had conquered Matamba, re-establishing a court that welcomed all who opposed Portuguese tyranny. In Matamba, Nzinga
Now, one thing that Nzinga did, now, first of all, she got a lot of black tribes unified under her, you know. But one thing that she did was study her enemies, you know, or tried to study her enemies. Now, this is the 1500s, right? And her idea was to put two Europeans who oppose each other against each other. Now, she don't have the information like we have is like, well, they have this thing of whiteness, you know what I'm saying, where no matter what, they're never going to side with you. You know what I'm saying? So, but what she did was use Europeans to fight each other, and that's how she was able to be successful, you know? And I wanted to play what this sister said here, right? Because this is the same thing that Queen Nzinga said, you know? But we're gonna bring everything in history to modern times, and this is what I want your opinion. Well, this is the first thing I want your opinion on, considering right here what
Okay.
this sister about to say.
I gotta take, it's gonna be a little bit controversial, but fuck it. When white supremacists who took us into slavery, whether slavery here in America or over in the Caribbeans, and they observed us, they saw that we moved well in packs. They knew that one of our strengths was unity, right? And so what did they do? They broke up the family unit, the black family unit, the black community. They destabilized it. We must do the same. We need to figure out a way to infiltrate their community, their white supremacist communities, and destabilize it from the inside out. And the best way to do that is to separate the men from the women. Separate the white women from the white men. Low-key, we already kind of have an edge in that, considering all of their snow bunnies want to come over to our chocolate kings, right? These chocolate kings need to get intel. But let me get back to my point. I was watching a video from Black Girl. You already know. I just feel like this girl always posts something, but I just know I could explain it to you guys on a deeper level, right? So she literally said that we do not give white women enough credit for the behavior of white men. Think about it. White women raise these white men. They raise these white brothers, white sons, white nephews, white cousins, white husbands. They raise them. And she gave an example. Have you ever seen a white man who's basically in a moment or a circumstance in which he should be showing out, but he only does so when a white woman is present? It made me think of those videos where a white woman gets into it with a black man or a person of color, right? And then all of a sudden, the man is there already, the white man, until he sees his white girl get laid out. And then all of a sudden, he's docile, he's calm. He knows how to pick his fights. He knows how to mind his business. We must separate the two. In the video, in Black Girl's video, right? A commenter, Ann Smith, literally said that white men are the largest benefactors of white women's tears. They benefit the most off of it. We have to break up the white family home. We have to break the white home. Mind you, there are some white women that are already doing it. You understand? They're already.
Now, Cassidra, before, and because I want to hear what you got to say about this, because we're gonna go a little bit further in on this. Now the young sister, now Queen Nzinga said this in 1500, and she tried to do this, but it was kind of successful, not really, you know what I'm saying? But the young sister seems to be under the impression like somehow like white girls is not on the same level, if not worse, than the white dude. But I don't know. What you think about what the sister was saying when she was like, we need to divide them and all of this stuff? What you think about that?
You know what, forecast? These crackers still doing the same thing that they've been doing, that they've done for years, since forever. They've come in and they've divided us. Yes, they've done that. They've put us against each other. They've COINTELPRO. They've done everything. But my thing is, I don't want to infiltrate nothing. I don't want nothing to do with them. I don't. I want to be so separated from them. Delineate. Stop giving them our money. Stop mixing and mingling. Stop marrying them. We don't have to. That's too much work right there. My thing is, we got so much building to do. We don't have time to infiltrate them. Infiltrate yourself and come on over here and let's build. Let's build these communities. Let's build our schools. Let's build our hospitals. Let's do what we need to do for each other. That's a lot of work. But I understand what she's saying. But for me, I don't care about infiltrating them. I don't. You can't trust them, no way. Who wants to get into their communities? For me, I'm speaking for Cassie. Okay, everybody else might think, okay, yeah, let's go over there and do this, that, and the other. I don't have time for that. The only time we have to do right now is build. Period. We need to study them, like you said. Study them like never before. And I do believe that that's what Ibrahim Traore has done. He studied Sankara so well that this dude is doing everything to win. And he's winning. So yeah, we can study them. We don't have to infiltrate. Because the white woman is just as dangerous as the white man. Because she raised them little school shooters. She raised little Dylan Roof. She raised Peyton. She raised Kyle. She raised Kyle. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we know how dangerous she is. But I don't have time to infiltrate. I don't have time. But yeah, so if you got a group that want to infiltrate, y'all go ahead. Infiltrate all you want. But when you're trying to infiltrate, sometimes you get caught up in that stuff. I don't have time for that. We got too much to do. And I'm going to rest with that.
No, yeah, all facts. And see, and I'm sorry for making this whole thing difficult this week. I missed yesterday and then, kind of rushing today. But like, this is why I needed you on here because that's the point, No, black men should not be trying because black men are gonna lose with white girls every time. It seems to be, Another Queen
Exactly.
Elizabeth.
They lose to women every single time. A woman, Delilah, Samson and Delilah. What happened? He lost to Delilah. Doing all that infiltration, you're gonna get caught up in the mix. Then you're gonna start telling some secrets where yeah, we've been doing this and we trying to do. No, we ain't got time for that. We got too much building to do. Keep your focus, stay away from them, stop mixing and mingling, stop having babies with them, stop marrying them, stop spending your money with them. learn from our failures in the past, and let's do better. Let's build a better Black Wall Street. Let's put our security around it. Let's get our own schools. Let's teach our own babies. Let's spend our own money with our own people. That's how we infiltrate. That's how, if we want to tear some shit down, that's how we tear it down. We don't celebrate it. We don't spend our money with it, and we boycott it. Target, we boycott it. Don't go, and they lose what? They lose their money. They lose their mind. That's what we do. If you want to infiltrate, that's how we do it. You take your money from them, delineate totally, separate totally. Don't have nothing to do with them because they need you to survive. They need Africa. America needs Africa so bad right now. Trump is like a fish out of water. He doing anything and everything he can to get the minerals back because they broke, and they don't know what to do because they broke, and they're not used to Africa just doing Africa. Africa right now is doing Africa. They ain't cook everybody out, and they don't know what to do. So now I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna start a war with Nigeria. It ain't about Nigeria. It's about no Christians. It's about those 3 young men over there in Tar Heel. That's what it's about. So I'm gonna rest with that. I don't want to get too far off the subject.
No, because it's not far off the subject. It's actually on subject. We're gonna get to that, you know. Hopefully I got everything in order, but we're gonna keep going with and try to get through as much as we can, as fast as we can, you know. And we
Don't
just
wanna
saw
waste too much
y'all
of this.
Queen Elizabeth just died, and you know how much it affected y'all, how sad y'all were. But in 1603, Queen Elizabeth the First of England died. Now that's when y'all boy King James himself took over. And as Black people, we know what he did in 1611, and we know that probably more than anybody. But within a year of y'all King James taking over, he reached a treaty with the Spanish, which gave England access to the doctrine of discovery and quote unquote the New World. Now we know they say their first permanent colony was the Jamestown colony in 1607. But what they won't tell you, and I mentioned it last time, how many of their colonies didn't make it. And even with this Jamestown colony, they barely made it. And they resorted to cannibalism during this quote unquote starving time.
Scientists have found the strongest evidence yet that the colonists living in Jamestown, Virginia may have resorted to cannibalism. Times were tough in Jamestown in 1609 and 1610. If you can imagine, winter was coming, and supplies from England that were supposed to bring food and other materials never made it there. And relations with the local Powhatan Indians had gotten so bad that the few hundred settlers were actually hunkered down under a siege-like situation in the fort. People have written that things got so bad that the settlers may have resorted to cannibalism. Researchers digging through a pile of debris in Jamestown found bones that really took them by surprise. There was 2/3 of a skull and part of a leg bone that belonged to what they believe was a 14-year-old girl. And the reason the skull surprised them was that it had some very unique marks on them. But how do you even know that cannibalism happened when you're looking at bones that are several hundred years old? Well, it helps if you're a forensic anthropologist, like Douglas Owsley, who works at the Smithsonian Institution and was involved in interpreting.
Oh yeah, we don't need proof that they are. Well, some people need proof they're cannibals, but we know they're cannibals. But speaking of that, let's play this, you know, this part here.
If white men are bad, who raised them? If slave owners are bad, who raised them? If Trump is bad, who raised them? Absolving white women and letting them hide behind their gender and their race is a huge problem that needs to be deconstructed. I'm not the type of person to pretend like you're not just as evil and have your hand in the bullshit like your sons, your husbands, your uncles, and your cousins. You were a part of it too. So much so that you had to have a law created for you so you can stop torturing children. That, I might add, your husband, great to have. Not once did you torture your husband and say, don't be a rapist. No, you tortured the person he raped and the children that came from it. So until we start to realize that these evil men have mothers, aunties, grandmothers, then we're missing the root of the problem. It's not just one-sided. Stop hiding behind those two factors. infantilizing white women and absolving them of the part that they play in the bullshit. Could be a scheme set up by Todd. I don't know. That's just me, though.
Now, Cassidra, and one more thing, Cassidra, because it's not just that. I want to show you, you know,
I know funny,
what they
but it
talk
is what it
about.
is. Let's get into this video.
I am tired of black women coming on this app and being like, white people don't shower, white people don't wipe their ass, and they don't clean their ass. Bitch, be so fucking for real. Y'all stink so fucking bad. And every time, almost every time, I'll say 7 out of 10 times, if you go into a restroom after a black woman, there is a shit stain on the back of the toilet seat because y'all don't wipe your asses good. You stink. Your hair that you don't wash every day. We wash our hair every day, dumbass. Your hair stinks so fucking bad.
What the hell is she talking about?
You stink.
Black
from the
women
waist
don't sit
down.
on the damn toilet. What the hell? That came from her fat ass.
Yo, but check this out,
I'm
Cassidra.
gonna try to be nice. Go ahead.
Well, this is what she said.
Is how we all feel, because hygiene is 100% cultural.
Do you use a washcloth? Kind of hurt by this because I try to look. I get up at 4:45 a.m. I try to look my best and look clean. Do I not look clean?
That's
Is
not,
that
no. That's really not what the question
Is
is
that
about.
not
Do,
why-
do you use a wash? Not do you shower? Do you
Now,
use
are you
a
clean? Do you look clean?
I have a washcloth in my bathroom that I use
Oh
for
my
my
God.
hands when I wash my hands after using the restroom. Does that
in
count?
the shower?
No, in
do
the
you
shower.
do you use?
No.
What the hell?
Oh my
Specifically
God.
use it
What
to
the
wash
hell?
your legs specifically.
No,
like
everything.
Your body,
Everything?
your whole body.
Yeah.
You can't use your hands.
No.
Oh my God. What's wrong with these people?
It's in your house. You see shampoo, conditioner, no body.
Poor kids, what's wrong with these people?
If I went over to your house,
Oh, you want to do a good job teaching them how to take baths, I guess.
yes,
We failed.
every morning I get in the shower, I get under the water, wet the hair, wash the face.
Oh, well, you can't really hear him. He talking about how he don't have body wash. He act like he have body wash. He just pour it out.
Beg your pardon.
How often to shower per week?
Now, mind you, this is like the CDC, the federal government. You know what I'm saying? The same government that be like men could be women and all that weird stuff. This is what they tell you about taking baths. You know.
How many times do you think you should shower per week, according to dermatologists?
I don't care what they say. I'm going to say, hey.
The answer is actually B, 2 to 3 times per week.
There are 7 days.
Yes, there are 7 days in the week. Now,
I'm looking at Al's face. Like, what is this?
it depends on the person, your lifestyle, your skin type, your
Lifestyle?
age, your activity level as well. So if you're someone who has a labor.
What's going on? Y'all are going to jail. Get over here.
Never used a washcloth in my life. No, but like if you think about it, it's my mother who really taught me how to bathe.
It is.
Well, I go on and on and on, Cassidra. So
Oh
we'll
my
stop
God.
there.
These people are so dirty. You can actually smell them. Sometimes you walk past them, you can tell the ones that take baths and not. And most of the men, most of them, I'm telling you, they stink. You can smell, it's an odor behind them. They don't bathe at all. Like, remember that one guy, who was that said they only bathe their kids when they get dirty?
Yeah, like the celebrity, all the celebrities that say they all do. That's just European culture.
Yes. Oh my God. What in the world? We all know they stink. So now this white woman gonna come in here and try to deflect, right? How you gonna say, come on now? Because I'm gonna tell you what. Ain't nobody sitting on no toilets. Okay, we squat. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You ain't
Black women ain't gonna go in no public.
I'm just saying, you're not gonna tell me that you didn't went in a bathroom behind a black woman and saw no dookie nothing, because we don't sit on those public toilets. We teach our babies from birth, okay? When they potty training, we have I took my baby's potty training with us, okay? And then once they got old enough, we teach them to squat. We teach them, okay? All of that, but she talking, honey, she lying. That's some shit stains from her people that just sit on the toilet, because that's what they do. They sit on all toilets. They sit down. We don't. We squat. Okay, so I don't know what she talking about. She lying over there, honey.
But
she lying.
and the thing is, right? Because the problem though, right? like back then, they black people like when the queen was like talking, like they could smell them coming from miles away because they stink. You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying?
Smell just like the horses because they were
And
sleeping with them.
hmm but the problem is a lot of our deaths didn't come from them from them just beating us up and killing us. It become from diseases that you bring with you with
That they
this
roll with them.
funky behavior. You know what I'm saying? And this is European culture to this very day. You know, you can see like it doesn't change. And this is the scary part about history is like repeating. Oh, like Donald Trump is like what, like probably like 17th, 18th, like worst president ever. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, it's not
They don't
even
do
close.
anything different, forecast. They don't do anything different. So all we have to
Hmm
do is learn the history, right? And and
hmm
and watch them work it. They walk in the same history every they do the same thing. Nothing's new. And if
hmm
we should be learning from this, and we're not. That's the sad part about it. You still got them coming in Africa doing blah blah blah. You still have them coming to teaching our children. You still have them coming around us doing the same stuff, and we still falling for it. Why? Because we're not learning them. We're not learning our history. We're not learning from understanding how they operate, and they're so typical. It's not hard to understand how they operate. They come to kill, steal, and destroy. When they come to get a job, know that they're not coming to work with you. They're coming to take over the whole company. Okay, so we have to understand what we're working with when we do work with them. This is why I say don't even be bothered with them. Let them do them, and we do us, and stay separate. Delineate. Come from among. Be separate and learn not. That's what we're supposed to do, and we're not doing that. Everything they teach you, everything they teaching you. How did the student become the teacher? That's what I want to know. When did that happen? Can anybody tell me that? How did we become their students when we taught them, and now they teaching us? Why? Because they taught
Well,
you that you don't have enough sense to teach yourself. So now
well,
we're
yeah,
trying to
this.
act like this. Please go ahead.
Well, no, yeah, I'm saying like, well, this is how we getting here. You know, this is why it's important for the history thing. You know,
Yeah,
for particularly this particular group of people because we got enslaved by Arabs and all them people too, you know.
yeah.
But
But they
um,
all work the same. They
mhm,
all, just like Russia now with Africa, they all work the same. They come, they want to save you, and then they want to take over and colonize you. Same thing with Africa. Same thing with Russia and China with Africa. You think they're not coming to take over? They coming to take over too. Oh, they gonna help you, but then guess what? Some of them wrote contracts out with them. Okay, so you do me, you do this, I'm gonna do this. You give me this, I'm gonna write a contract. It's the same way. It's not. It's no change. But you don't think we can build our own? You don't think we can do this by ourselves without delineate? I mean, without coming among them and without writing contracts with them? You don't always have to do that. You see them contracts down on Trump has written with Kenya. It was top heavy. All that stuff was winning. America's head was getting their money, and then they said, "Oh, we're gonna pay you over all these years." He know that they don't have no money. He know he'll never pay Africa nothing, so he gonna get his off the top. And that's what kind of contract he wrote. You should have heard that contract that Kenya wrote with signed with America. Everything was in America's favor, and that idiot signed it. But then his people came back and said, "Oh, no, 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 we're not doing that." So they shut it down. Thank God that he has people that can shut him down. Like they have like a forum that they come and you agree or not. And they said, "No, we're not doing that. We're not giving over our DNA to America. We're not doing that." But I'm telling you, they don't change anything. We have to study them to know how to move correctly because nothing changes with them. Go ahead, I rest.
yeah, yeah. All right, yeah, let's keep going.
Yes.
Just like the Moors did, took it upon themselves to save them and pull them out of the starving times, just like
Yep.
they pulled them out of the dark ages. And once they showed them how to fish, how to cultivate the land and grow food and grow tobacco, it was a wrap. Now, even though they call us savages to justify their actions, although we just saw what they resorted to and what they called the starving times, that cannibalism likely extended to the slaves. And there were Africans as early as the 1450s who were saying, or these Christians, aka these white people, were evil people and they were eating the flesh of the people they were kidnapping. Now, I personally believe their paranoia or their suspicion was justified, and there's a lot of evidence that shows this cannibalistic history, and I can point you into a few books, but we'll do that in another course. But the point is, there were some black people who saw what was going on and they knew what was up. But then you had a lot of black people, like we do today, who embrace these Europeans who are coming in. And most of the time, they usually traded animals and other goods. And in exchange, they would get iron, copper, and unfortunately, tobacco and alcohol. Now we can't skip past the black people who did trade other. Now I was going to say something about the tobacco and alcohol and all that stuff, but we skipped that. We'll do that's a whole nother thing with the tobacco and alcohol and how that worked out for us. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. We'll skip that part. They're black people, and in most cases, for weapons, guns, to defend themselves. And we even saw something like that in the beginning with Queen Nzinga. Now, I know a lot of people just like to throw it out there. Africans sold other Africans without actually examining the whole story and how many black.
Right.
Yeah. And see, before we
need to
get to
do
that,
it. You know what? Even with that, we need to do a live on that. All
yeah,
about that. Who sold who and how it all started so that we can debunk the lies.
yeah. And well, you know what? Yeah, I think we should no, hold on. Let's do this part first, right? Because I was like, some of us thought that we should work with them and stuff, right? Now, listen to this soft ass fool. It
This
is what it
unity.
is,
Everybody must work for it. Let's get into this video.
Black and brown unity is necessary for us to survive the next 3 years. Yep, I'm gonna have people pissed off in the comments. Yep, folks are going to act like they don't understand nuance. That's okay. We've got to do better for each other. If we don't, we will continue to relive this nightmare, and I assure you the problems are just going to keep getting worse and worse. We have an obligation to.
Now, on the last one, we talked about the first time in history black and brown unity tried to happen. Cassidra, what you think happened at the end of that?
Oh my God. Oh my
We
God.
got
Why
stabbed
is it
in
that
the
we always have to partner with somebody? Tell me why. Why is it that we can never just do what we need to do? They don't partner with us. They don't never say, oh, black and brown. Do you ever hear a Mexican person say black and brown? Never. But every time we open our friggin' mouths, we got to mention brown people. What the hell? Learn from your mistakes. Let's move forward, delineate from them because they delineated from us. Ain't nobody saying, oh, let's help the black people. That you never hear Mexican folks talk about the black folk, do we? Ever. So why is it every time we turn around, we always hear somebody trying to tell us to come together with them? For what? They don't even like you. They don't like nothing about you. But we still continue to try to make them want to work with us. No. The hell with that. Let's do what we know to do. Delineate, be separate, and learn that. Period. We don't need anybody else. We need each other. Period. We've tried that with everybody else. It don't work. We tried that already. It never works because we always come up with the short end of the stick. So why we continue trying it? Why don't we do our research before we open our mouth talking about coming together with somebody? What has happened every time we've come together with anybody else? We end up getting the short end of the stick. They get on top of us and leave our asses behind. We did that with the Jews, didn't we? What happened? Now they over you, talking about you, selling you all kind of disgusting music. But I'm going to rest with that. Go ahead.
Now, I ain't gonna say what I want to say because it'd be disrespectful.
No, go ahead. You gotta say. Go ahead. Say what
Not about because it's personal. But no, I'm not gonna say it. So I'm gonna let my guy here talk.
Yeah,
my man here,
black, brown, white,
brother.
whatever the case may be. When it matters
If
most,
you're a brother, I guess.
when people are suffering, we have to show up. That is an uncomfortable
Who's showing
place.
up for you?
Yes, I understand that there's anti-blackness. Yes, I understand and see the anti-immigrant sentiment in this country, even from people that follow me.
Even from people that followed me, his own fancy kiss ass, they be racist to him. And oh, what a shocker there, you know what I'm saying? What are you
I have
doing?
had to block. I get it, but
Listen
we are
at him.
never together. Those of us
Okay,
that
so wait,
have
go back. Play that again. Play that again. So people didn't now listen at what he's saying, people. Listen at what the dude is saying. He's telling you how they are, but you still want me to support them. Dude, you need to go somewhere and go to bed. Go to bed, go to sleep, go do something. Go do something.
Yeah, I don't know. Go to the ISIS camps and
and
Stop, honey,
the
because it ain't working
anti-immigrant
for us.
sentiment in this country, even from people that follow me,
Listen to him.
that I have had to block. I get it, but we are better together. Those of us that
He didn't
have
have to
hand
block
off your
him,
face.
but you want me to help him.
Get your hand off your face and talk to me, brother.
Tomorrow, we've got to engage in the critical discourse that matters most. And so think to yourself what we can do if we operate together, if we're mobilizing people to vote.
I'm gonna show you right now what we could do. Now I'm not gonna play it. I was gonna show you this, but
Come on, forecast. Don't be holding back now.
nah, I mean you ain't missing nothing. No, you ain't missing nothing. This girl just
because they were like,
just put it like this. She like, hurry up and buy it, hurry up and buy it, hurry up and buy it. That's all. Just put it like that. That's all she said. Because they are relevant. And like this one, I can't even tell if this one is a dude or a girl or what.
Is to know
They
that
all look the
to
same
get
to me.
deeper into a
But they like robots, so it doesn't really matter what they say. But watch this, Cassidra. She said, this mother says, son traumatized after Nell's son. Apparently, they held the damn baby until the girl paid for her nails or
A
something.
nail salon worker ends up on the wrong side of the law after a disagreement over price. Gwinnett County Police arrested Nancy Nguyen. They say she illegally blocked a child from leaving her business after she got into the argument with the boy's mother. Fox 5's Christopher King is live in Lawrenceville outside the salon. Christopher, this is a story you have to break down for us. It sounds insane to do so.
It sounds insane. What the?
It is nuts, and police say it happened right here at Modern Nail Bar. Selena Stevenson tells us that salon employee first tried to kick her out of the salon.
Let's get these black reporters in these suits.
Your ass ain't had no business in the first place.
Yeah. Let's get these black reporters in these suits to come out here and speak the King's English properly to tell us what happened. My bad.
But then she says that
No
worker
business
locked
being
the
mad.
door, grabbed Stevenson's 8-year-old son, and refused to let him leave. Police arrest a worker outside a nail salon after they say she illegally blocked a customer's child from walking out.
And they got a Chinese cop.
It happened this past Sunday at Modern Nail Bar in Lawrenceville. Selena Stevenson tells Fox 5 she was getting a manicure.
And she was just basically saying all this other stuff was added onto the bill.
Stevenson says the woman who was doing her nails kept adding more costs.
I questioned the price.
Stevenson says that worker grew annoyed.
She told me if I didn't like the price, then I could leave. I attempt to leave, so I just get up and I just walk to the door.
Stevenson tells us she put her 1-year-old daughter into her stroller. Her son, Sahir, tried to follow. Then things grew heated.
She just pulled him in and locked the door.
And you were inside also?
We were inside, me, my 1-year-old daughter that I had in the stroller, and my son, and a bunch of other people in the shop.
According to this Gwinnett County Police report, the worker, Nancy Nguyen, quote, was seen grabbing the child by the shoulder and pulling him back into the business, then locking the door.
The suspect said, you're not leaving until your mother pays for her services.
I had every intention on paying you.
Stevenson eventually got out with her children and called police.
The fact that you just put your hands on my son, we're going to wait for the cops to come.
Officers arrived and handcuffed Nguyen.
To hold an 8-year-old hostage in a nail salon over.
Cassidra, you want to say something?
Wait a minute, but didn't that just happen also? Didn't that just happen with the Nigerian African couple and they charged them with kidnapping. They charged them with all these charges. Now they lost their business. They in jail and they getting ready to serve some time. Right? Same thing just happened. My thing is, when are we going to? And I'm not trying to put attention on Africans. I'm putting attention on Black people and how we're not learning. All we have to do is we can shut this modern nail bar down by not going, because we are the only ones that participate in the nonsense. White folk don't get their nails done. All we have to do is stop going. They shut down. They got to go back to China, Asia, wherever they come from, period. Because they're not going to stay here without having their own business. Asians have their own businesses, or they engineers, or they, but my thing is, what are we going to do about it? If we know that they're treating us like this, disrespectful, right? That's disrespect. So what are we going to do about it? We're going to continue going, continue servicing them? Yes, we probably are, because your brother just told you it doesn't matter how they treat you. We still have to come and we still have to help them. Ain't that what he just said? Fuck that. I'm not coming. I'm busy over here. I got to sweep the sand off the beach. I'm just saying, I'm not coming. You can go if you want to, but I'm not coming. I'm not helping nobody if they don't look like me. And if they don't have the mindset that I have, I'm not helping them either. Period. I don't feel sorry for her. We've been telling y'all asses, stay away from those nail bars. Stay away from those Asian nail shops. We've been telling you that. How many times? How many times we have to keep telling you? You still going. And then now you want us to come and save you? I'm not coming to save you, because we've been telling your ass to stay away for too long and you still not listening. So I know you feel different about that forecast, but I'm not going to continue coming over there saving you if you're not going to listen and you keep putting us in danger, because you're not listening. You're not learning from the past. You got a whole brother just told you, no matter, I had to block them and I'm still come help them. Boy, get out of here. You an idiot. I'm not helping you either, because you hard-headed. You ain't learning from your past. And I'm going to rest with that.
No, yeah, I agree with you. All right, let's keep going. We only going. I ain't even do the whole thing.
That's why it took them so long to get to the interior of Africa, because they faced so much resistance. And one of the main tools that Europeans used was deception. And they also heavily relied on divide and conquer. But the ones who chose to side with the Europeans were often betrayed, and Europeans would take more than what was agreed upon.
Exactly. That's what they do. Just like them slave catchers that was helping catching those slaves back in the day. They did what? They put their asses in slavery. Okay. My thing is, when you see a Black person like Candace Owens, now we got them in our community now. They need to be handled. Period. First time they come out their mouth wrong, they need to be taken care of. Period.
Wait, hold on, because we're gonna talk about that. But before we go to that, right? I gotta stick to it. I want to
go ahead.
I should have played that one.
We need to.
Speaking of that, because we was like with the Africans and the stuff like that, right? Now, I will be fair to say this, right? Now, one thing that I don't have, like, I'm not gonna say that I know the most about, right? But there was a brother that came on here and be like, "What about the East Indians? I know the East Indians ain't like considered Black. It's Black people there, right? But what we think about East Indians?" And I told him, like, these Somalians, and because they do have a lot of Arab blood, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Now,
yes, they do.
this, I'm after this.
By the Arabs.
Huh?
They've been infiltrated. They sharing a land with them or something.
Yeah,
they were.
I think they have a lot of. Yeah, I mean, even when you look at them,
a part of the land is Arab. The Arabs that come in and colonize, are taking over part of the Sudan, Somali areas. That's why they say they're Arabs, because they let them educate them. So now they don't know who the hell they is. So I'm gonna say I'm an Arab, even though Arabs don't like your ass either. Arabs, Chinas, Russians, Germans, all of them. Don't nobody like your Black ass, but you love everybody. Trying to say everybody. Well, you go right ahead without Cassie.
Yeah, but that's and that's what I'm saying though. Like how Europeans use divide and conquer, right? And see, I was going to also put in, and we'll use this, right? But see, I exclude this because for me personally, like I can't really vouch for like, you know, like like for me, I don't know. I can't say they are or not. You know what I'm saying? That won't be the hard one. But as far as this African versus black people in America thing, you know what I'm saying, the beef that we have, you know. But let me play this part, Cassidra, and then we're gonna talk about the whole part of that, you know, and then we're gonna go to what you was just talking about, because that's the next part.
We're Somali. Let me start off by why we're not black. This is black. This is brown, and there's not a single person in the world that's this skin color. Do your research.
Oh boy, shut up! You know what the hell we mean.
What you get when
I hate when they do that.
You get when you turn
I
up the
can't
lights.
stand it.
And yes, I know this.
You stupid. I
Yeah,
hate
I
that.
know.
I hate that so bad when they do that. Because you know what we're talking about. We're not talking about the color per se, color. We know what black look like, okay? We're talking about culture. They know what we're talking about. I cannot stand when they do this. I hate that. So now you want to come on here and deflect. Well, we not this, so we brown. What the hell are you talking about? What's your culture? Where your DNA come from, bitch? Africa, Somalia, Africa, Sudan, Africa, Jerusalem, Africa. It might be east or west or south, but it's still Africa. Mauritian, Africa, East Africa. But then you come here and they say, oh, Mauritian. I said, well, what's that? Is that black? What? Oh, that's Indian and more Indians. Okay, bitch, you black. You're in Africa. Africa. It's all African. So what comes from Africa? Black folk, right? So why are you so afraid to say, I'm from Africa, Sudan, Africa? You're African. You're black. Your blood is black. Your DNA is black. But I rest with that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
There's going to be those people that think Somalis or East Africans are in that racial construct, that racial typology, that racial classification. But no, who made this thing? Who made this racial classification? It was the Europeans, the white man.
God, I guess.
Looking at me right now.
Shout out to Chunks.
Somalis are not black. Let me explain why. Looking at me right now.
What in the hell?
I'm literally
You are
brown.
stupid. You done. Okay, then that's why he's sending your asses back, because you don't know what color he is. Go ahead. That's why he needs to send your dumb asses back. Go ahead, Trump. Send them home. Send their asses home, all of them. Who said they ain't black? Send them home.
Literally can't be black, bro. Boogie, did you eat your brain cells? Really and truly, Somalis are Arabs, bro. Think about it, bro. We're in the Arab League.
Okay, the Arabs then. Let's go over there and try to.
They might be Arabs. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, Arabs don't like black folk either. So whether you black, Arab or not, look at them Dubai people. They're Arabs too. They can't stand black folk. But go ahead and act like you Arab. Go ahead. Go on over there and try to live with them and see what happens. I bet your ass can't get along with them. Go on over there. Because they don't see themselves as black.
You know what I think the
And
problem
Dubai
is,
is
though?
black. Dubai is in Africa. So what the hell are you talking about? And they don't like black folks. But I'm gonna rest with that. Go ahead. Let them be Arab. Go ahead. Let them be Arab.
No, and you know what I think the problem is, like, where I get, even me, I get confused. Like, I would say this one would be the most whatever, because Arabs, I think, is kind of like Mexicans, is like mixed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like white. To me, is like black, and then there's Neanderthal, and then it's like Asian, Denisovan or Denisovan or whatever you call it. 3 types of humans. Then they mixed, and they get like Arab and Mexican and all these other things. But then you have like Somali, which is like a mix between the Arabs and black somehow. So then they're like, because they're still mixed, but they're not like, you know, but they got so much blackness that they're like, you know, they're weird, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if I would be like, they are black. I don't know. Maybe they are Arab, you know, except for the ones who are black, you know, but as far
Well, you
as
know
the
what,
group.
forecast, I don't give a damn what they is. When you know, Trump is putting them out of America now, and I do believe that he's saving their lives because of what, you know, what's getting ready to happen to America. And if you smart, and I'm just saying, if you know what's coming and he tells you what's coming, a lot more people should be getting up out of America and won't, because they built it. That's what they say. I built this country. I ain't leaving. I'm gonna fight. Well, you go right ahead and fight. I'm gonna let you fight. Right. I'm gonna let you fight that battle by yourself, because I'm from there. My DNA is from here. You know what I'm saying? My grandma and great grandma from here. So my thing is, I'm not fighting for a country that hates me. I'm not fighting to stay. I'm not doing that. So if you want to fight because you built this country or you built this and the other, you go right ahead. But I'm gonna tell you what, as for me and mine, We out. You can fight for whatever you want. I don't want to fight for a land that's dying.
Well,
I don't want my children to fight for a land that's dying.
Well, Cassidra, before you make up your mind, you heard the brother earlier. He said we need to work together. And before you make your mind up, I want you to see this, Cassidra. Check this out. Maybe you might change your mind here.
Just don't want to be here no more. Just pray to God just. I'm just tired of you guys talking about me and just always talking shit. These guys just don't even know how to just leave me alone. I'm just so tired.
Oh my God!
To their own country. That's what
I
they
can't see that crying.
I agree with you, and I am supporting with you.
There's the video making that echo too.
Hi.
It's this lady's video.
So it's an American Navy, an American.
All right, and we're gonna skip it because this lady video was the one doing all that echoing. So
I apologize for the way I delivered that.
Hold on, Cassidra. You gotta hear this before you make your mind up.
I apologize for the way I delivered that message. I do apologize for contributing to a narrative without giving solution. I apologize for not explaining in great detail with the cultural context the information that I gave. Mentioning this issue was not the problem that I received a backlash on, but rather without giving solution and also being general without providing the factual information a bit more precise. And also
super
not being
humble. Damn.
This is why I'm making the video. And it's not because of the other way around. We're Somalis. We're thriving in the West. It's good to know that we not only keep ourselves accountable.
I'm still not coming. Your ass can sit there and talk all you want to. I'm still not coming. I don't give a damn what happened to you. You sitting up there talking about you're not black. Guess what? I'm not coming. I'm not risking my life for your non-black ass. I'm going out for people that say that they black and they look back and act black and got a black mindset. All of this you talking, go to hell, because I'm not coming. So I made my mind up. I don't give a damn what happens to you. You already told me I don't want to have nothing to do with y'all black folk. I want to do with American black people. Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. So now when they hauling you off, I can turn my back and feel okay about that, because you already told me you're not black. So why am I gonna go out of my way to help somebody that's not claiming me? Why? I'm not coming. So I don't care what you show me millions of videos. I'm not coming.
Not even because there's not even this one considered.
I am currently asking for a ceasefire. I'm asking for a ceasefire between the Somalis and the African Americans. Please, we got something bigger going on right now. This is a divide and conquer situation happening in Minnesota. Y'all know we
Girl, ain't no fight, honey. Cassie ain't coming. Ain't no fight. Cassie ain't coming. Ain't no fight, sweetheart. They said they're not black. I agree. Keep moving. The hell with them. Bye.
Oh man.
I'm done. I don't care. Go ahead.
When that George Floyd stuff happened, baby, we was out there. Ain't nobody was asking what type of black you was. We all felt that. So I just don't want this ignorant conversation to overshadow what's really happening. Don't give them the upper hand. Why are we acting slow? I'm asking for a ceasefire. If you like me, please put down the shots. We ain't got time. Just put a pin in the conversation. How about that? Let's just put a pin in the conversation. And after we're done with this, then we can get back.
Hold on, after we're done with this, and then we could get back to it. We wouldn't be done yet.
That's something. After we get done
What
with
the
what?
hell?
Girl, you go ahead on about your business. I'm out of that. Hey, as you notice, I'm not there in America, okay? Why? Because I don't care. I'm not gonna fight for nothing that's not mine. I'm not fighting for a land that's sinking. That's just like me fighting to stay on the Titanic. The boat is fucking sinking. And y'all fighting to stay on the boat. That makes no sense to me. And you want people to come and save folk that say, I want to stay on this boat. Okay, stay on the boat. Bye. I got to go. I can't die with you. I can't fight with you. because you don't even believe you need to fight. I'm gonna be the only one out there fighting, and then I'm gonna have to fight you because you're gonna be fighting me because you want to take up and you want to fight for your master. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. They already told you they're not black. Get the hell on. Keep moving. Save yourself. Save the ones that need to be saved. That's saying they black, and we black and I'm proud, and we move forward with that. All them other folk, hey, you stay here, have a good time, have a good life. We out. Period. And I'm gonna rest with that.
Well, now Cassidra, now you see why I definitely wanted you on here, right? And we're gonna keep going with that conversation in a little bit, but it's something else that I definitely wanted you to see too, because but the divide and conquer is important, and we're not gonna single out. Well, I just singled out the Somalis. It is what it is, but about other black people around the globe, including other black people in Africa, right? And this, first of all, the narratives that keep us separated and the middleman. We don't even need the middleman no more. We never did. But, even the narratives about that. But we're going to get more into that in a second. But it's another part.
Since Willie Lynch. We have not needed the middleman since Willie Lynch. He told us and showed them back in Willie Lynch, and then they want to say it's not true. What's not true? Willie Lynch? You can look around and know Willie Lynch existed. Look around you. They don't have to do anything. We do it to ourselves now.
Yeah. But and so this next part though, I definitely want you to see, because this is something I guess that'll probably lift your spirits a little more. Europeans used was deception, and they also heavily relied on divide and conquer. But the ones who chose to side with the Europeans were often betrayed, and Europeans would take more than what was agreed upon or take their actual citizens. And by 1610, the Portuguese had transformed the Dahomey Kingdom into a slave trading state.
I wish at this point to particularly to apologize deeply on behalf of the chiefs and people of Gold Coast and Ghana for the atrocities, the cruelty, the inhuman treatment that were committed 400 years ago by my ancestors.
I don't need your apology. Show me the
during
money.
the Atlantic slave trade.
Where the check is? That's all I need to know.
400 years ago, millions of our brothers and sisters were captured, sold, and transported under inhumane and cruel circumstances through Elmina Castle across unqualified apology, deep from the bottom of our hearts. Deep from our bottom of our hearts. But one thing that I want you to be aware of, it was not without resistance. Some of our chiefs did fought and resisted. Some of our people did fought and resisted. But we are fighting a losing battle against a stronger army.
We're gonna go to the next part. Attacking you, because that was a whole nother conversation. Is the African and all of that stuff,
I mean, I still don't
selling
think
each other, and that's a whole thing by
time they were
itself.
actually
And
seeing
trying to
it. But they
so all right, not bad. Let's go
was a
ahead.
war. They were taken to, and of course, the alcohol that was introduced didn't make it any better. And at that point, Africans still didn't realize the level of lies and deceptions they were dealing with. I mean, I still don't think we know today, but this was the first time they were actually seeing it. But they didn't realize, even if they sold somebody who looked like them, even if they were from another tribe, all of these black slave traders were just one day away from getting kidnapped themselves. And they often were. In one case, a black slave trader named Daga was tricked into getting on one of the boats. and they took him to either Cuba or Trinidad. And some people say when he got there, he ended up leading a rebellion. One African chief who had been trading black people for guns and things to protect his kingdom, but he realized they were taking his family during the exchanges. So even if he surrendered and attacked another black nation, it didn't matter. They still took his family. Now, some black leaders and kings or rulers who have been trading with Europeans started to hear about the treatment that these black people were receiving and started to realize nobody was coming back home. And look, we got to be real here. When we looking at history, we just don't see the same violence and inhumane treatment in African cultures that we do in European cultures. And I'm sure a lot of people didn't think they were treating them the way that they were. But that's definitely no excuse. Because one thing we still got to understand to this day, even though sometimes we see ourselves as different, they never saw them as different tribes. They looked at them as selling each other, selling themselves. And today we still have a hard time getting this concept of race. Even at a time they may have been unaware of that concept of this whiteness that we see today. If you sell your neighbors out for somebody who lives far away, usually is going to lead to bad things. And even today, we'll make excuses like, well, it's the European technology, and compare that to African countries.
Now, Cassidra, even if we didn't know about whiteness and blackness, and it's not a construct because we can see, I can see you and the difference between you and Becky, and I know you're a black woman, and that's Becky without you saying a word or doing anything, right? So we're not gonna act like that's not real, you know. But the thing is, right? Even if we didn't know this concept of or put blackness over this or that stuff didn't even exist, right? If you sell the person that lives next to you to somebody who lives far away, odds are you're going to be next. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that black people are going to constantly have over time is this Negro wake up call. You know what I'm saying? And that's when they start getting that Negro wake up call when they was like, damn, I got kidnapped. Like I said, the dude Daga, he was a slave trader, thought he was different, and then they tricked him into getting on the boat, you know. Or the kings who was like, and a lot of times they did it under pressure. Let's not act like they didn't did it do it because they was gonna get killed or something like that. But even when they did it, they still was taking their family members. So even if they thought they had some kind of bond, like I said it in my book thing that I wrote, you know, I said we realize that Europeans is not into making friends; they're into making slaves or whatever. I don't know if that's exactly, but they're not into making friends; they're into making slaves.
But that's true. That's true. That's true.
And
Look how they did it in what country was that? They had that war. Rwanda. They had the Hutus and the Tutus going against each other. And I probably said it wrong, but these were brothers, these were cousins, these were friends. They came in and infiltrated and said, "Oh, you had brown eyes, and your eyes is darker brown, and your eyes is brown. You're better than the ones with the dark brown eyes." What the hell? We're still black people. We sisters and brothers. We cousins. Why are we going against? Just like they have Rwanda and Congo, was killing each other for years. Why? You're killing your cousins. That makes no sense. And then guess who came in and brought peace? Trump. How in the hell do you listen to a white man come in? Well, you sign a contract with me. I'm going to go over here. Now, he started the war, right? So you made a contract with the person that started the war and then gave him all your minerals. What the hell is going on with that mindset? You don't need nobody white coming in there doing nothing who started the war in the first place. Don't we know that yet? What is it going to take for us to learn our history? They doing the same shit that they was doing back in the day. They doing it. Oh, they just regurgitate it. Keep doing the same stuff because they said niggas ain't learning. Let's keep on. Let's do the same playbook. Go ahead.
No, no, I was gonna say, that's how BP got founded by the Biafra Wars, in Nigeria, I think it was, and they put one side against the other, but then they took the oil out of both, and then they had BP, which is British Petroleum, and it became a
Ain't that something?
billion-dollar industry, and
Ain't that
millions of
something?
black people died by making BP, British Petroleum,
And we need to do that live too, because people need to understand how treacherous these crackers is. Every time they
Mhm.
lie. Every time Trump opens his mouth, he lies. And we don't understand it yet. We don't get it yet. It's all
Well,
about deception with them. All about deception.
Well, I mean, and you're gonna like this part though, Cassandra, because that black slave trader when he was on the ship, we're gonna get like the modern version of that and see how he was
Okay.
looking and how he was sounding. So I know you're gonna like this one.
What happens when the token becomes inconvenient? What's the actual end game for people of color who build a platform within the most radical factions of the right? Well, buckle up. Right now, we're witnessing a brutal, real-time wake-up call. Figures who were once celebrated are being turned on with stunning speed. It's exposing a raw truth. In a movement often built on racial identity, acceptance for some is conditional, temporary, and transactional. Let's break down point one, the token bargain. For years, certain white nationalists in far-right circles had a use for prominent black or brown voices. Why? These voices provided what they craved, cover. They could say, see, we're not racist, so-and-so agrees with us. It was a powerful tool to disseminate harder line views while dodging the racist label. The deal was simple. You criticize your own community, and in return, you get applause, a platform, and a sense of belonging from a group
With some
that's
money.
Money.
but here's the catch.
Money. It's all
It was
about
never
money.
about genuine alliance. It was a strategic, cynical use of a person as a prop. The moment that prop steps out of its assigned role, the deal is off. Point two, the inevitable backlash. And we're seeing it play out live. Take the commentator Myron. When he criticized other black people, he was a star. But recently, after a controversy, the very people who championed him asked, can he even vote here? And demanded his deportation, despite him being a US-born citizen. The message was clear. This is our country. You don't belong.
He probably is
Well,
Arab
look who
though.
followed him. Look who followed him. Becky. He a self-made little Negro. Didn't even understand his place, but they showed his ass, didn't they? Good. I feel this made my day forecast. Thank you. I need to make my day.
That's how the black slave trade dude was looking when he got on the boat. He was like, "What?"
Exactly.
For over a
What
decade,
you doing?
we've been following criticizing black culture.
Look, this is what he was. This is what the slave dude was saying when he led the
Question about
rebellion. He
violence
gonna
in white
hear what your
communities.
boy was
The
talking about.
reaction was nuclear.
Watch this.
It's called every name in the book, unsubscribed from, and attacked. His 15 years of loyalty meant nothing the second he broke the unwritten rule. Direct your criticism only where we allow. This brings us to point three, the ugly revelation. This backlash isn't just about disagreement. It's a fundamental reminder of your status. You were a useful tool, not a peer.
Women are making violence normal in the black community because they're teaching their children to be just as disrespectful as they. The difference is when a woman's disrespectful, dude's still trying to
See, this was when the dude was trying to trick people to get on the boat. The black man was trying to Daga, the slave trader.
Don't you understand now why they have so many STDs?
That's what he was saying to the Europeans in their language.
Of them, it smells
This is modern version.
Many times I've had sex with black women and it literally it was an unbearable smell in the room.
White people spend all day today telling me that Jews aren't white.
Now watch this.
And I'm a nigga. All because I asked one simple question. I said, why is it so common that white kids kill their white parents? Now, let me ask y'all something. For those of you who watched,
you got the thumbs down immediate.
Or your thumbs down. Do y'all think that question was out of bounds, racist, harsh? Oh my God. I didn't think it was anything to make them upset.
Good job.
With all the shit I say about black people. I didn't think that would bother anyone.
Wait, Cassandra, let me play this. Let me play this 1 second again. Listen to this, Cassandra. I know you heard it, but I'm gonna play it again. Oh, I spoke over it. Listen to that. All the time I talked about black people. He ain't say nothing.
I didn't think that would bother anyone. Well, why now? Why? I didn't think it was anything to make them upset. Not with all the shit I say about blacks. I didn't think that would bother anyone. Well, why now? It bothered everyone. Them white boys got their energon cubes up. Oh, and they was mad. Oh, man, them white boys was mad. They're not white. That was the first argument. They're Jews. So I was thinking, okay, that should be a simple argument. They're not white. They're Jews. Surely you wouldn't start calling me all kinds of things. You just simply correct me, right? Isn't that what you good white people would be doing? I mean, you high IQ whites, wouldn't you just simply correct me? Oh, no. That's not a white guy. That's a Jew. And that should be the end of it. Oh, no. They started off by wanting me to know he's not white. He's Jewish. Cool. But then
By the way, you know why they act like they're not white? Because they're like, they are white, you know, they're Europeans and they come from like Turkey somewhere. But you know why they think they act like they're not white? Because they believe that they have a nigga blood in them, according to them. They say that they go by the one drop rules. That's why they hate Jews, because they think that they have some kind of blackness in them, which they don't. You know what I'm saying? That's the European ones. It's the black people and then it's the European ones. But they hate the European ones because they think they have a drop of black blood in them. You know what I'm saying? That's why they try to be like they're not white. But as they say that because they're niggas according to them, you know. So, you know, that's just another. Even though the shysters was the ones who was the first one to put black people on sale on credit, which we'll get to that in history. So we'll talk about that later. The shysters probably on the next one, maybe.
They went on to tell me, oh, the reason we do it is because we know who our father is. You don't. I thought to myself, not what a wonderful world. But I wondered, I said, well, is that one of the benefits of having a father? Is from what I'm hearing from these white people, is that you can kill him? These high IQ whites don't understand that just because your dad's not there, you can still kill your mom.
Oh my God.
Hey, this is what the dude sound like on the plantation when after he sold all them black people out, and now he on the plantation. That's how he got this nigga.
Now he mad. What you mad about? You work with him and you didn't know how they was?
For 15 years, you stupid.
15 years of
all I've done is talk about blacks. 15 years.
15 years.
Shows up on my page and starts telling me I'm Malcolm X. All you do is blame whites. Really?
Really? That's something. 15 years he took their money.
That's what I do.
Oh, he said
they snatched it back. I guarantee you he have a dime in the bank the next day. The same hour. Not even the next day. They snatched all that shit back. I guarantee you. Because that's what they do. That's who they are. They'll use you and they know they're going to always find one that's going to come against their own. Candace Owens. They're going to find one. And boy, because Charlie Kirk didn't even like black folk, but that was her best friend. What the hell? Girl, what the hell wrong with you? You don't know friends? You already didn't had dealings with them in your high school years. That's why your parents sued them in the first place. And you still don't know how they is? Oh my goodness. She made millions. So she kind of used black folk and white folk, didn't she? Made her money.
She sure did. I told you she a hustler. I'm telling you, she's
a hustler, baby. That's a hustler, man. She went against both. She said, I'm gonna go against the niggas and I'm gonna go against the white folks. I'm gonna make my money.
Yeah.
But she made more from the white folk.
Mm-hmm.
When she didn't need them no more, what she do? When she didn't need them no more, what she do? She started talking about them because she don't need them no more. She didn't make her money.
I try to tell them. Now, it don't make her not a sell. It's still a sellout. You still sold out.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Oh yeah.
You're still right.
If I was fighting against her in the war, I'm gonna get her first. A riot broke out, and she's standing next to me. I'm gonna have to take that bitch out because I don't know what's up with her. I'm gonna have to take her out first. Seriously, I'm just saying. We have to understand who we dealing with. We have to understand when they didn't been around white folks like that and they in crowd and you can't trust them ever. You got to go after them first. And that's the shame about it. They know who theirs are. They'll never go against their own. And when they do, they shoot them in the face, just like they did that white woman. The FBI, remember the one that was helping black folk?
Yeah.
They'll take them out. In the bus, boycott with the white woman name. I forgot her name. But what did her husband do? Her husband told her, stop helping them. You already know what's going to happen. And she wouldn't. So guess what they did? They shot her in the face. But her husband knew that was going to happen because he kept telling her. He kept warning her. But she didn't know what was going to happen. Or did she? She thought, I'm a woman. They ain't going to hurt me. Huh.
The husband probably the one did it.
And, well, hey, I'm just saying. They always take care of theirs, but except us. We'll go out there, we'll see Candace Owens acting a fool, talking man shit, and won't say nothing, won't do nothing about it. What's wrong with that picture? Something wrong with that picture. She should have been she should have been taken care of a long time ago. And I don't condone violence. I condone justice. I won't ever condone violence. I do. We have to take care of ours. We have to. Man, they do the same thing. But go ahead. I rest with that.
Yeah. I feel you. And now and then matter of fact, let's finish listening to the slave trader on this
let's finish listening to the slave trader.
And then there'll be somebody named
ready to start a revolution.
Neil, because he's taking the N and the K, and it really means kill. And so I asked him, I said, well, Neil, how many have you kneeled? White people who I've said nothing wrong about or to for damn near 20 years.
Damn near.
Had a problem with one post, and it's a lot of people, one of them who's up here, hopefully he'll come up here, who follow me, who now all of a sudden, you're just a nigga like the rest of them. I said, you follow me. One of them said,
now, for those who be like, oh, well, there are good ones. They said, I'm a good one. I'm not like the rest of them. At any given second, if you have a shredded self-dignity, you better not have no damn shredded self-dignity in you. Because that second, you are just like the rest of them. Never mind. Hang them up with the rest of them. Oh, man. Damn near 20 years not saying a word.
Exactly.
One goddamn post. One goddamn post.
Told him you the same. You ain't no different.
Damn. That's cold-blooded.
He got his way to call this.
You're not in.
That's cold-blooded, boy.
You're not intelligent.
He thought he was
entertaining. That's the only reason I follow you. I said, well, let me tell you something, Whitey. Every time
I know that this is how they is.
Let me tell you something, Whitey.
This is how they is forecast. How do you understand that? Well, how do you get to the place where you're saying, "Oh, they're not all like that"? How do you get to that point of saying that? What are you looking at, or what's going on in your mind that you don't understand what's going on?
Well, that's what I'm saying, Precision.
All of them.
That's why, okay. Like with Queen Nzinga in the 1500s, I could give her a pass because that's the first time it happened. But after like 1700, I can't give black people a pass no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Negroes today sitting there talking this weak ass, ain't no lesser of two evils nonsense, and don't know goddamn, and think they know history, can't know political history or any of that stuff because you would know anyway. The wake-up call is not only what we don't want to realize is not only for the black conservatives though. See, I don't draw this line of, this is why I be like, I'm not as hard on the coons as you consider, because some of us don't realize that we are, let's say, clones, because we be like, well, there is a lesser of two evils, is clone behavior, weak behavior too. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're talking about some black first and black this and all of this stuff, but then get scared when it starts getting down to the nit gritty. You know what I'm saying? Now I get it. I get why we don't want none of our loved ones to be hurt or none of that. You know, but what the hell? We've been there for like 700 years. What's happening? You know. But anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When it came to keeping me on YouTube, I ain't stupid, and I said it several times. I ain't seen none of you whites try to keep me on YouTube. When I put out that GoFundMe, how many of you whites hit it? When I say, hey, matter of fact, how many of y'all have watched these whites circulate my old videos, the clips and stuff of them that they like, but won't do something as simple as tag me so people will know where it came from? I'm not stupid white. I'm not dumb.
It was kind of stupid.
Around the dumb. They believe, oh, them white people support you. I ain't never said that. I ain't never believed that. Because if white people were supporting me, everything I put out would get thousands of views. You know, like they do Nick Fuentes. No matter where he blocked, white people find that white boy. Somebody tell me I'm lying. Oh, they keep that white boy draped.
That's
You see them doing that with me? Do you see them making sure I get on television shows so I can spout my own talk?
Damn.
You want to know why? Because the white people ain't stupid. They realize that I was saying that if black people listen, black people will become stronger as a whole.
All right. That's enough. You done got your wake up call.
He just made my day. I love it. He got his wake up call. Good job. Good job. Most of them, they gonna get it anyway. They gonna understand it's by and by.
Yeah.
They don't understand until they get in that position, and they thought he was gonna be able to say something about them, huh? And they was like, "Oh no, not here. You ain't coming over here with that. We, you talk about your own, but you ain't coming over here with that. We will eat you alive."
Yeah. And like, yeah, it's good when we can use you, but like, yeah, don't think you're getting in the country club.
Yeah,
boy.
you think just like who's that? The Indian guy, Ramaswamy. They getting his behind, ain't they? They tearing that ass up. Woo, he begging them, please, mama, please, baby. Please, baby. He thought he was one of them, didn't he? Woo, they tearing his ass up right now. Woo, they ate him up, didn't they? And he was so hurt, wasn't he? Boy, you thought you was in, didn't you? You thought you was in. Woo, Lord have mercy. Make sure you pull up Khalid Muhammad so we can hear what he told us what to do with him at the end.
And see, that boy East Indian, I could tell, and he gonna leave the next. That boy was on this plantation talking about the revolution on that one.
Okay, ain't that something?
And I'm not gonna play this whole thing because it's like long, but
South Africa's
so Angola is where Queen Nzinga was, and we know a lot of the history. Yeah. But we know that there's a war even right now.
Did not begin at a single identifiable border crossing.
That time when Nzinga wasn't able to hold it down, or not, she wasn't able to hold it down, but black people was acting scary, and she was fighting, but they wasn't ready.
When you allow them to come in and educate you, you lose your courage because they pull it out you, they educate it out you. Yeah. That's why we have to continue teaching our history, continue teaching our children. That book you writing, we need that. We need that. We need that book more so than ever before, because we need to put that in our schools. We need to create our schools, and that needs to be a must read for all black students. A must read.
Yeah.
But go ahead on the rest of that.
No, yeah, because and this is the first person to fight back was Queen Nzinga before they took the land, but now this is where we are. And now we can look at where we are from where we
how an apartheid state extended its security apparatus outward until the fight it thought would stay foreign became profoundly domestic, and how a remote theater in Southern Africa turned into a crucible of Cold War confrontation. After the Second World War, the world that had created empires started to unravel. European colonial systems faced organized, often violent demands for self-government across Asia and Africa. In South Africa, the 1948 election that brought the National Party
All
to
right. Damn, this one is he going too far onto like other stuff. So, South Africa was trying to help fight because we think about just South Africa, but Angola was a part of that.
Background layer of security tools.
And of course, a lot of black people have some kind of like history with Angola and stuff like that. According to records.
In the Cold War era. Today, we're going to talk about the South African Border War, in which the apartheid regime fought the Namibian independence movement and intervened in the Angolan Civil War, which put them into a direct conflict with none other than Fidel Castro's Cuba. And while we're at it, we'll give you something to secure. The vast majority of Africa remained under the colonial rule of Britain, France, Belgium, and Portugal, with very few independent states scattered throughout the continent.
All right, y'all. Look, y'all have to look that up later. But today, after Portugal was the one who did this to Queen Nzinga, look at where we are today. Well, it was like 2 years ago, but now we got to save them.
The president of Angola, João Lourenço, has welcomed the Portuguese president António Costa in the capital Luanda on Monday. Ministers from both countries signed a total of 13 agreements, ranging from financial to legal.
We have to save the European.
To collaborate on the part of the Portuguese justice system, with whom we were able to exchange.
You have to give them our money.
But also the alignment of Angola's anti.
Yeah, all right. We'll go. Basically, he was saying, yeah, we have to, help the white man because
once carved up and colonized by Europe, suddenly flipping the script. What if the former colonies became the new superpowers? I know, it sounds crazy. Colonization was cruel and devastating. Nobody wants to see that repeated. But just picture it for a moment. Instead of African countries relying on billions in foreign aid every year, it's African governments sending relief packages and financial lifelines to Europe. Instead of African leaders hustling for foreign investors, desperate for deals that rarely benefit their people, it's Europe and the West standing in line, pleading for African investment. And instead of Africans risking everything to migrate to Europe for a shot at a better life, it's Europeans boarding flights in droves, chasing new opportunities on African soil. Sounds impossible, right? Well, think again. Because in Central Africa, one country has already turned this wild scenario into reality. Angola, a nation once under Portugal's colonial rule, became the unlikely savior of its former master. So how did a former colony end up rescuing the very empire that once controlled it? Let's dive in. Angola, a nation stretching across southwestern Africa, is one of the
all right, we can't go far into it. Let's just say, they taught them how to take baths. I guess, I guess that's how they tried to save them. I don't know. This is what the problem is. How we still figure like, we got to save them. I know they've slaughtered us, but this is the right thing to do. Is it the right thing to do? Like, what the hell, man?
Whatever. Whatever.
And let's just go back to where we was at before, because let's see how it worked out back in the day, when we realized, when African leaders realized working with Europeans, how did it work out for them? Let's try to see if it. Hopefully they play what the hell's going on, man. All right, there you go.
Countries. Well, the people that they were taking out of these countries were the young people, and young women. They weren't taking old, retired people. They were taking people with skill. So if you take all of the young people out of somewhere and all of the people with skill out of the same place,
and forced them.
And we're not going too much farther. I only got like a couple more, like a few more minutes, like 5 more minutes into this video. But
To work for
we'll
you,
talk about the last topic.
of course, there's going to be a big difference. But they got people who they know could work and left these places destroyed. So when African leaders started to see that Black people weren't coming back, and they started to hear about the treatment they were receiving, some of them started to speak out. Now we saw Queen Nzinga fight up until her 60s and do everything she could to protect her kingdom. Another great warrior queen, Madame Tinubu, who did trade with the Europeans early on, but once she realized what was going on, she did everything she could to fight them.
But within Africa itself, that was a great event that has been forgotten. Concurrent with the slave trade, and almost at the same time it began. Now, if you study the Nigerian woman, Madame Tinubu, who was in the trade for local consumption, when she discovered that the people that she was capturing and using for local consumption were being taken out of Africa, not returned, she began a war on the trade and fought the trade to a standstill and fought all the kings in the business, including the king of then Abukudu.
That's my guy right there.
Well recorded.
Yeah.
And part of the story is that there was a man asking for her hand because her husband had killed, asking for her hand in marriage. And she told him that she had a man's work to do and she was not a woman until she finished it. And her job, she could
Man's job. Like you consider doing what a bunch of brothers supposed to do, and they say, "Oh, I'm under the bed right now."
When the last one was no longer king, she turned to the man that had been asking for her hand in marriage and said, "Okay, I will marry you now. I'm a woman."
And allowed Catholicism into his nation and adopted the name of. When he found out what happened, he wrote letters to Portugal expressing his.
Okay, my bad.
Now I'm a woman. Married and went to a place called Jos in Nigeria.
Another one was King Alfonso I of Congo. When he found out what happened, he wrote letters to Portugal expressing his concern. And even though Alfonso became a Christian and allowed Catholicism into his nation and adopted the name Alfonso, he was still betrayed and they kidnapped more and more of his people. And as soon as he wrote a letter expressing his concern, he became a target.
So they began supplying guns to different villagers to start civil wars. At this time, King Alfonso I wrote to King John asking him to stop the slave trade because some kings realized this is getting bad. This is pretty bad here.
Upon this reality, King Bembo writes a letter to the King of Portugal saying, and I quote, "Each day the traders are kidnapping our people, children of this country, sons of our nobles and vassals, even people of our own family."
Oh, real quick, the same ones they was just bailing out in the last one we just watched.
This corruption and depravity are so widespread that our land is entirely depopulated. We need in this kingdom only priests and school teachers and no merchandise, unless it is wine and flour for mass. It is our wish that this kingdom not be a place for the trade or transport of slaves.
There is in our kingdom a great obstacle to God. Many of our subjects crave the Portuguese merchandise which your people bring to our kingdom so keenly. In order to satisfy their crazy appetite, they snatch our free subjects. They even take our noblemen and sons of noblemen, even our kinsmen. They sell them to white men who are in our kingdom after having transported their prisoners on the sly in the dead of night. Then they are branded. The white men allege that they have bought them, but they cannot say from whom.
And the more and more African alliances deteriorated.
All right, and real quick, because we almost on the last one now, but I want to show you
what happened to that land now, where we are now today,
One of the most complex, longest running conflicts
in the Congo.
And
basically his land is the Congo, and parts of Angola and like parts of Congo,
the Democratic Republic of the Congo. One of the most complex, longest running conflicts in the world. And you're probably not hearing about it much on the news, but it is important and it is connected to the entire world. It's a war where
And look, even before they knew gold was in the ground, they was still doing it because you know what is just as valuable, if not probably it's more valuable, let's be real. It's us. We, the people, you know what I'm saying? So they was doing this before they even knew gold was in the ground.
front lines are always changing. There's militias, hundreds of them. They control little patches of territory. Let me show you the one map that got me deep into this story. It
Remember I
looks
said
like
divide
this.
and conquer.
All of these are the groups, the many, many different groups, armed groups, and this is the territory they control or controlled. This map is totally outdated because every day it shifts. These groups blob together, they break apart, they join alliances with the National Army and then with the rebels. This is a war that is funded by minerals, by roadblocks, by illegal taxes, extortion. And in February 2025, the logic of this war reached Washington, D.C. The president of the Congo is offering Congo's vast minerals in exchange for military support to push back Rwanda-backed rebels. These are the kinds of deals Donald Trump loves, and the U.S. is moving forward with what it calls a path forward for a deal. But this video is not about that. That will be on the news, and we'll see.
Now you see how it started? The King Alfonso was like, yo, look, man, y'all starting to take a lot of our people. This is getting crazy. You giving it's like all we getting is like liquor in return. Like they taking noblemen. Like we thought we had a deal, you know what I'm saying? Like what's going on? People ain't coming back. And now we see what's going on to this day in that region, And what you think about that though, Cassidra? And then even now, right, how Europe uses they send a bunch of harmful pesticides over to Africa and
Between
stuff like that.
2015 and 2020, the European Union exported more than 81,000 tons of pesticides to Africa. Pesticides so dangerous, they are banned for use in Europe itself. And yet, these very same chemicals were shipped straight into African markets. Here, they were sprayed on our soils, handled by farmers without protection, and left to contaminate on our rivers and our food.
Between 2015 and 2020, more than 81,000 tons of pesticides were exported from Europe to Africa, chemicals so dangerous they were banned in Europe itself.
And you know why they do that?
Products were shipped.
Yeah.
To stop the land from growing. What? See, when are we gonna learn? You know what, Forecast? I've gotten to the place where I don't even feel sorry for people no more. I don't. If you have not learned after all of this time, you've been dealing with them crackers how long? And you know they don't mean you no good. And you still will accept vaccines from them, pesticides, and now you tell it, and now Bill Gates talking about vaccinating your animals. What the hell? Why you need to come here and vaccinate our animals? Have you vaccinated Europe's animals? That's exactly what I would have asked him. The only one that I see having sense with Bill Gates is Ibrahim Traore. And that's the one of Burkina Faso president, Mali and Niger. They'll ask him in a minute, no, you're not even welcome here, which is great. They learned. They see the assignment. That's why Trump wants to get rid of those three brothers, because they leading the world with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They showing other African countries how it needs to be done. So Trump is like, oh, we got to get rid of them brothers, because we ain't going to be able to come in Africa and do nothing after they get done. You're right. Your time is up. Your time is done. And we have three brothers leading the charge right now.
Well, no, check this out. Check this out, because just because you said that, because I want you to,
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Damn, I don't know which one is a good one.
Ceux que mes mots pourraient vexer, parce que je n'irai pas parler d'autres là. Tellement tous déjà entendu parler.
I don't know a good one. My bad. But he's trying to say that a black winter is coming to
Yes, he did.
America.
He told him. He said, I'm ready.
Yeah.
He's showing America I'm ready. I ain't scared of you. He said, I'd rather die than be your slave. Now that's what I'm talking about. I'd rather die than be a slave for another 20, 100 years. It's time out. Africa is number one right now. Africa is the now. If people don't understand that America's done, why you think Walmart's coming over to South Africa? Why you think a lot of them American companies coming over to Africa right now? Because they see the assignment. They know what's happening. You'll be a damn fool not to join up. But I'm going to tell you what, you'll be a damn fool to accept it. We don't need no Walmart in Africa. You build your own Walmart. You build your own African Walmart. You don't let that white company come in here and make your dollars. No. They weren't thinking about you before. Let them stay their asses in America. Create your own black Walmarts. Black Wall Street. That's what we need to call it. Black Wall Street. Period.
Yeah.
Did that brother know the assignment?
Yeah, because look, check it out. I know you saw
Mali
this.
and
You were just
Burkina
saying it.
Faso have imposed a reciprocal travel ban on visitors from the United States in response to President Donald Trump's travel restrictions. Trump added the two countries to his travel ban list in mid-December. He instated an initial travel ban on 12 countries as part of an effort to strengthen national security. Mali's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation released a statement saying it, quote, regrets that such an important decision was taken without any prior consultation. Officials from both Mali and Burkina Faso announced they would be imposing reciprocal travel restrictions following Trump's December proclamation. The countries are currently under military junta rule after military leaders launched coups in the respective nations. Each of the countries is also part of the regional alliance of Sahel states with Niger to combat Islamic extremism in the region and gain greater national sovereignty across the states, following their exit from the economic community of West African states.
Somebody had to do it.
Let's get more from West Africa correspondent Uwe.
Well, the actions that are coming from these two countries are mixed with frustrations and defiance because it's a situation whereby the countries are being governed by military juntas. So majority of people are looking for what this government is doing that will show them like they are really defiant with the West, especially the US, since when they took over. But there are people within the country that are not happy with this because they have so much relationship to do in terms of business, in terms of traveling outside the country. So now they cannot get visas to do that, which is going to affect their businesses. But you know, it's a military junta country where people there and the government there, is looking for what will make it popular. When they took over, they immediately changed their pattern of administration so that they...
All right. You know, I don't know if you got something to say about that, Cassidra.
Woo-wee. You know what? Forecast. I don't know. I don't even know what's. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you handle that one.
Nah, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm a, you know, and I only got one more thing, so I'll go with the last thing, and then I'm gonna wrap it up, and then we'll keep going on the next time. But let's play a little bit more. See, hopefully I'm at that part. I
The
think it's
more and
only a
more
couple more
powerful
minutes here.
and more control Europeans got. Now, back in Jamestown, Virginia, in North America, the first 20 and odd Negroes, as reported by John Rolfe, landed in 1619. Now, I'm sure a lot of us have heard this 1619 date and stuff like the 1619 Project, but we already saw both free and enslaved Africans, free and enslaved Black people already in America, North America. Now, I am saying that most people use this 1619 date because the British colony in Virginia expanded into what we now know as the United States of America today. But it's a common misnomer
that this first 20 and odd Negroes came to Virginia slaves. When they arrived, they were technically indentured servants. And yes, is a difference. Just go ask the Irish. And also, Europeans somewhat still abided by the doctrine of discovery. And with the British, if you became a Christian, accepted the ways of the Englishmen, there was a small chance that you can get freedom and even in some cases get land. And most of these first 20 and odd Negroes were already Christianized and given Christian names or English names. Now, of these first 20 and odd Negroes was Antony and Isabella, what they call Negro. Now, see, this part is going to be on the next part, considering where we start getting into the destruction of the black family, which began on this land here, began in 1620 something, you know. So we're gonna get into the destruction of the black family on the next one, but I want to show you one thing. His son William Tucker in 1624, they officially became the first black family on record in the colonies, which became America. But this also gave birth to the war on the black family. Now, it's important that we look at this little 20 to 30 year period because even though we already know that people recognize. All right, yo, and this part, I'm gonna skip this part until next time too, because it's the story of the dude John Punch, right? The first slave in what was Virginia or whatever, you know. And I was gonna see like the racial disparities because but just in the modern terms, check this out, considering now this brother, this just happened with this brother in Florida. And let me see.
Tavares Hutchinson is a free man. How does it feel to finally walk out of prison after 26 years?
It's just relief that finally my innocence is proven and I'm free. I was always on my toes until I walked out the county jail.
Police say Hutchinson committed an armed robbery back in 1999 and stole a wedding ring and gold necklace, but he says that wasn't him. Fast forward to 2024, Hutchinson, still claiming his innocence, teamed up with the Innocence Project of Florida, a nonprofit organization that works to find innocent people in prison and free them through new evidence. In his motion to have a judge throw out his conviction, Hutchinson argued the necklace police found in his possession on the right was nothing like the 14-karat gold Gucci-style chain the victim said was stolen. Testing showed Hutchinson's necklace wasn't even 14-karat gold. Hutchinson's lawyer says his client didn't match the description of the man who the victim said robbed him. And then earlier this year, the victim said he misidentified Hutchinson at the time of the crime. It's something Hutchinson says he was waiting decades to hear.
Like every day it's just a battle, but it's an end.
You don't even look like
You
even look like
yeah,
that man.
you know, I would sit on my bunk.
That's a shame. I swear, that's a shame. My thing is, right now, the justice system needs to be thrown out. They don't even prosecute their own.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we're gonna talk about it on the next time, considering you should definitely come on here because this story of John Punch in 1640 is the first time since it was in a court that became America. Was the first time we got screwed in court because while 3 people ran away, 2 of them was white, 1 of them was black. The 2 white ones got 4 years as all indentured servants. The 2 white dudes got 4 years. The black dude got life for the same thing. They all did it together, and that made him like the first slave. That's the first time we got injustice in the court system in 1640, and we see now like what happened like last week, I guess, you know, about disparity, you know. But I'm gonna skip that part because I'm gonna go to the last part, you know. And he was probably mulatto. That's 1620. Now, of the Europeans who were already over here committing the crimes, the Pilgrims were the ones who were their criminals and so-called quote-unquote outcasts. And they said they were. No, hold on. I think I skipped it.
Infinitely worse, it's servitude for life.
Then land at Plymouth Rock and
is
I think I
D'Souza.
messed it up, but
He was probably mulatto. That's why they say of African.
oh yeah, okay. So I'll go back
Like
to the black
thinking
family part. I should have just stopped right there. Um, Let me play this last part for the black family thing. I want to play this, because of what we get into. Oh yeah, I did say that. I don't know where I say it on the video. I don't know where I say it on the video, but I was saying how they changed the law for black women and whatnot. See.
to on top of what they already had to serve. But this
court.
And it was probably in
Let's see.
women had to pay taxes.
Okay,
Black
here we go.
women started
Because
to
we
take
don't care about that whole. This part is about Thanksgiving and stuff like that, so we don't care about that part.
Trying to see the war on the black family and on black women start to take place. And multiple statutes in Virginia require every youth 16 and up to pay taxes. But all women, except for black women, were exempt from paying taxes. And it was a lot of laws like these that made it difficult for black women, even in that time, to find partners. They passed another law in 1668 that said black women had to pay taxes. And so if you married a white girl or an Indian girl, but if you married a black woman, you would have to pay double the taxes. So it made it harder for
Basically, if you married a white girl or Indian girl, you didn't have to pay any taxes for her. But if you was a black man and married a black woman, you got to pay taxes for yourself and taxes for the black woman, because only black women were taxed. Every other woman was excluded from this tax, because they was trying to discourage, even back then, black women from finding people to get married to.
Ain't that something?
black women to find.
Yeah, at 16
Ain't
something.
that something? Ain't that something? They've been trying to separate us for a long time. In 2025, they finally winning.
Yeah.
2025, because they know that they need us, so that we got to separate them. We know that they know that they need our men to incubate. You know what I'm saying? They know that they're not reproducing. They need some help, and here we go helping them out again. So now they've caused a divide with black men and women, right? And now they, our men over there having, repopulating with foreign strange women. That's what they're called, strange women. They ain't supposed to be repopulating with them. And now you're gonna leave them babies over there. You're gonna wipe them babies out, and they're gonna mistreat them. So here you go again. We're gonna have PTSD, half white folk, and then they're gonna, white you out. And that's just. But this is what they do. They come and they use us, and we help everybody. No matter how they treat you, we'll go and help them reproduce, and then they still treat you like crap. But this is the history. This is our history. We love everybody but ourselves. But I'm gonna rest with that one.
And this is why I wanted to make this the last point, because the next one will go into the disparity in the court system, but also the black family issue.
On partners. And 380 years later, we still see this war on black women and how it affects our communities to this day. Now, even though they made it hard, the first black marriage on record was in New Amsterdam in 1641. So even
We'll
back
talk about
then,
this part
black
next
people
time, right?
still made sure to have black families. They didn't care. Now, in Virginia.
So we'll talk about that next time. But based off of what you said, Cassidra, I want to show you a couple of things, right? First, I want to show you, based off what you said about black men with other women. Let's see what it plays.
Like black men
Let's get into this video.
and just dating black men, like I'm over it. Like black men just can't get my time no more. I've been dating black men my whole life, and honestly, it has gotten me absolutely nowhere but fucked. Like it is just BS. I'm so over it, y'all. I started dating Asian men out of nowhere. I literally was dating an Asian man for a whole week. We went on dates straight, courting, gentleman, just everything. older, established.
First of all, black women, I thought y'all already knew this about me. If you my mutual and you reposted this on my timeline, you getting blocked. Matter of fact, a couple women that did repost this on my timeline, that we was mutuals, they not gonna see this video because I already blocked they dumbass. What the fuck is wrong with y'all to let a racially ambiguous ass, whatever the fuck she is, Asian, Latina, whatever the fuck she is, run around with lip fillers, trying to have a black aesthetic and complain about black women, and y'all in the comment section talking about some, yeah, leave them niggers alone. Y'all some Uncle Ruckus ass women. Y'all all through up and down the comments talking about some, yeah, I got me a white man. I got me a white man. I told y'all leave them black men alone. And your white man trying to look black. How that work? You got a white man that's trying to play black by trying to play a gangster aesthetic when that's not even black culture. But you doing better over there. And then in the video, she panhandling, talking about some, why can't a black man just send me $1,500? Why can't a black man just send me $1,500? First of all, go through her videos. She 31 with 3 kids. Nobody ever married her. She talking about dating an Asian man. He ain't put a ring on it either. And then you ask her what she do.
Right, and whatever, but
Truth, come on now. And I see stuff like that. You see stuff on the internet like that, where you'll hear a white woman come out there dogging a black man, and then you got black women on there. I'm like, stand down, man, stand down. When I see it, I'm coming up there and I'm coming after you. Don't let me see you agreeing with no Neanderthal or whatever the hell she is. No, that's her history. That's her. That's on her. That's on her. You don't come against your own for somebody else. And this is what we do. That's what I hate about us. We will get online and agree with a white man when they talk about a black man. Are you serious? You will never see them do that. You will never see them come against their own. No matter the Kyle Rittenhouse. Did you hear one white person coming against him for shooting them 2 white dudes? No, because they were off code. And did he go to jail for it? Hell no. Why? Because he was on code. Those 2 white boys was off code. That's why Kyle got off for murder. Because they handle their traitors. They handle their traitors. And that's what we have to do. We have to go after the Candace Owens. We don't go and agree with her. Girl, yeah, you right. I don't give a damn what your experience was. Because you ain't worth a damn anyway. If you sit up there going against your brother for a white woman, then that tells me a lot about you, what kind of person you are. You don't go against your own for them, ever. I don't care the experience. If you having a rough time with men, then you need to go get some counseling and find out what your problem is. Because it ain't all them. It ain't all them. I'm going to go there. It ain't all them. We got a whole lot of traumas. And even coming abroad, understanding my traumas. I'm telling you, when you move to another country, you're going to see some stuff that America put in you that you're going to have to deal with. Well, I've been dealing with some stuff. My stuff. Because we have so much trauma and so much hate and so much hurt. And we've been dealing with so much of their traumas and their hate that we'll actually move somewhere else and you'll see it over, and it's not even needed where you're going. It's not even needed. But I'm telling you, we have got to stop going against our own. You don't ever go against your own. Stand down. When they talking about your brother, you jump on that ass. Oh, well, no, you're not going to talk about my brother like that. I don't hear you talking about your brothers. They don't want you no way.
Yeah,
because you got all that PTSD in you. Okay, don't play with me. I'm never going to go against my own for them. Never. I don't give a damn what he did. Just like you had some white folk coming against Puffy. I don't give a damn what he did. I understand. But I'm going to tell you what, white folk trained him. Let's go get the one that trained him and let's go against him. No, we ain't going to do that. We're going to get down on our brother time. We're going to hold him accountable. Bitch, you ain't hold the one that did him like that accountable. What you talking about holding him accountable? Who trained him? Let's hold that dude accountable. Let's train. Let's go after Epstein. That dude ain't dead. You ain't gonna tell me he dead. That dude is on another island, his own island, living large. Period. I don't believe he dead. He had too much money to die. Ain't no way in the world. No way in the hell he dead. I don't care what you say. But you don't hear them going against Epstein, do you? Do you? Got pictures of him with young girls. Are they going against Trump? You show pictures with Trump going against some young girl. messing with them young girls. Do you hear anything negative about Trump that they got to say? Are they holding him accountable? But yet you have black women telling me we're going to hold Diddy accountable. We understand what you're saying, sis. We're not condoning what he did. But I'm not going to go against my brother in front of them. We can come over here in the corner and we can, we can condemn him and do what we need to do in a corner, but not in front of them because they don't do it in front of us. How many white women have come against Trump since those photographs come out? None. They act just like it didn't happen, didn't it? Because you know why? Because they're used to that kind of behavior from their white men. That's what they do to their children. That's not abnormal to them. That's abnormal to us, but not to them, because that's what they do to their children. And you want to sit up there and hold Diddy accountable, but then Trump sitting up there with a whole young girl, Melania, who was his wife. Did you see one of his wives? Did you see that wife he got now? One of the pictures with Epstein. No, y'all don't recognize her. She was in there. That's who he married to now. Don't play with me. But I don't hear one white woman going against him. Now, if I'm wrong, let me know. Not one white woman has gone against him, holding him accountable. No, they said, oh, we love him. We voted for him. Yeah, but they don't never mention them pictures, do they? And what he do, he got up there and said, oh, y'all still talking about them pictures? Hell yeah, we talking about them pictures. You pedophile, you murderer, you rapist. Hell yeah, we're going to keep talking about it because you messing with young girls. And then they turn around and say, well, at least they weren't babies. They were over 13. I don't give a damn. They were still minors. They were still minors. But I'm going to rest with that one.
No, yeah, I definitely feel you, and yeah, I agree with you, and that's one thing for sure. Like, notice she didn't say nothing about her own dudes, that she wasn't even supposedly messing with in the first place, But and the last thing I'll show you, I want to show you this one though, consider like why they be jealous of you,
Bring it here so we all can.
Ears. Dear black girls, the time has come. I have something on my chest, but I cannot hold it anymore. So I'm just gonna say it. I invite you. It's been years. I invite your genes. I can't believe most of you don't even get old. You guys don't age, or what's the problem in here? I don't see the majority of you fine lines under your eyes. What do you mean you're 35 and you look like 23? God has its favorites, and I saw it. What about the lips? What about those juicy lips, those nice lips, those lips that looks plump and is natural in the same time? What about the buttock? What about the fat, juicy buttock? You think that's fair? Do you think that's normal? What about that nice skin that when you apply a little bit of foundation, a little bit of makeup, you just get a glow? Yep. I have all the reasons to invite you. You see this lip combo over here? Yep, that's because of you. Because before you, I even hated gloss. I just couldn't see myself wearing gloss. Now this is my lip combo every day almost. And if you ever saw me with braids or any African hairstyle, it's because I loved it on you guys. It is not because I wanted to be black, it's because I actually wanted to slay in it as well. Why is it just you that you want to slay in it when I can slay in it as well? Overall, I think your genes are crazy good. And I invite you for that, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, but in a good way, I wish I had all these things because there's a lot of things you guys have and I don't, and I spend money on it because I don't. Right?
This ought to show you how jealous they are, black women.
And
this ought to show you.
I find myself turning my head after you on the street. So hope this message got to you, and I hope you're gonna enjoy your day and remember you're beautiful.
Man,
I can tell. I bet she call it, what you call that stuff you put in your lips? I guarantee she did her lips like that. She wasn't born with them lips.
I know she did.
These white women tell you every day, black women, how jealous they are of you. That's why they treat you the way they treat you, because they're so jealous they want to be you. We can walk down the street. You got white women out here burning like raisins, right? You got beautiful black women Beautiful complexion. Beautiful complexion. And you ought to see the white women just looking at them. I'll be like, yo, y'all love that brown tone, don't you? Boy, they so jealous. They so jealous. They come down here and they lay in the sun for hours and get all kind of red. You be looking laughing at their asses. They walk around here peeling like grapes, like raisins. It's so funny. But let me tell y'all, these white women are so envious of black women. They are so envious. Have you seen the model on YouTube? And she's walked black woman, and she has this fro. I love to see her. I love to see. Next time we get her name, but she walks down the street, and all the white women, and I guess she's in London or Paris or somewhere white with all white folk, right? And you ought to see when she walking down the street how they stop and turn and look. Even the white men, old white men, be stopping, looking and turning, watching her walk. I be saying, boy, they love us some black folk. They are so jealous of us, you guys. We have to understand this. It's not about a hatred of it's a hatred of jealousy. That's what it is. They hate you because you're beautiful. They hate you because you got what they don't have. They hate you because they won't never be able to get what you got. Right? But we don't understand that. Don't be mad at them. You look at them and smile at them and just laugh the hell at them. Because I know why you don't like me. I know why. Because you wish you was me. You wish you had this tone. You wish you had this glow. You wish you had this shape. You wish that you could look half as good as me. I'm just saying. We got to know what we possess. We have to understand. These folk are jealous as hell of us. And their men are jealous of our black men. That's why they treat you so bad. They jealous. This is what jealousy looks like, ladies and gentlemen. That's what jealousy look like. But I rest with that.
Well, no, I mean, and that's why I said, the next time, not only the prison disparity thing, we also can look at the family thing. And listen, as much as people hate the truth it is what it is. We're gonna talk about the history and look at, and even now we're gonna look at history and then today, and see where we are, and like it or not, it is what it is. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but we're gonna keep going deeper and deeper into
Come
this
on now.
history thing,
I
So
love it. Yeah, I love it.
yeah, I
And they
mean the
should
fact
like it.
that
They're not getting nowhere else.
yeah, and the fact that the history plays over and over again should like probably scare you because it'd be scaring me because it's our reaction. I know that they are not creative, right? That's why they still saying like Marxists and communists and all this stuff. Like it's not like most black people don't even know what a Marxist and communist is, but they call you that. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't even come up with insults. That's why they be like, well, white lives matter. They can't make their own insults. You know what I mean? So listen, like at the end of the day, we are all we got. And at the beginning of all of this, we understood, like we realized, damn, they taking our people. Damn, they stabbed us in the back, But today, we don't got no excuse for being surprised when they stab us in the back. So we're gonna go deeper. And consider I appreciate you for even making time, because I messed up yesterday. I ain't had time yesterday. And then, like today, I know I ain't wanted to be super, super late because, so what time is it over there? Like 9 something or 8 something?
9:25. We 9 hours
Okay,
ahead
yeah.
of you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I know people is listening out there. It don't be showing me who listening, but I know people is listening. But at the end of the day, y'all don't have to be scared. If I'm wrong about any of this stuff about history, which is why I'm keep saying this stuff, like it's for y'all to correct me if y'all disagree. Because another conversation that we kind of skipped, consider was the African versus the black person in America. I ain't gonna say an African American because an African American is a African that's been Americanized. You know what I'm saying? Like Sheriff
Yeah.
David Clark
Yes.
and Candace Owens, and I get that she's like I ain't gonna get into that whole thing, but we will if y'all want to on the next time. I'm trying to give y'all a chance to prove me wrong or tell me I'm wrong about something or that I forgot about something. Shouts out to my brother Anthony who sent me something that I didn't even know about last time. And that's the purpose, for y'all to come on here and tell me if I'm wrong or not. But it seemed like y'all kind of scared to say something or do something. So, it is what it is. They kind of scared Cassidra. So, but what you think about everything we was talking about today?
I'm loving it. I want us to stay on the history. I love the history because we need to know it. We need to get it one way or another. And this is the only way they're going to get it because now they're trying to change our history. They're trying to snatch all the history books up. They're trying to take away our black magazines, museums. They're trying to tell us that we weren't slaves, we were servants. No, bitch, we were slaves. Don't let them change your history. If you're not teaching your children your history, it's bound to repeat itself. That's why we're going to stay on these history lessons. And I'm loving every minute of it, Forecast. Thank you for the invite. And thank you for the history lesson. Because some of this stuff I didn't even know. But I'm appreciating it. I'm learning
No,
with
yeah,
you.
yeah, for sure. And it's like I was showing before. Like Queen Nzinga had an idea that a young sister that today will have the same idea. The problem is, like, it's been 400 years of generations where we could have built upon that first idea from Queen Nzinga instead of doing the same idea over and over. We could be looking to see, damn, Europeans be lying. Damn, they're like killers and stuff. Like, damn, they're like pedophiles and stuff. Like,
Yeah, they
they,
lied about everything.
what? I
Yeah.
signed this agreement. They didn't keep it. Like, at some point, it gotta stop being a shock and start being something that you plan for. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what to tell you. But you going to say anything else though, Cassandra?
I just appreciate the opportunity to come on here and learn. Just the opportunity to try to, to wake up our people. Because this is who we talking to. This is what it's about. It's about us learning our history so that we don't repeat it. But I do appreciate everything that you've done. I appreciate that book. I can't wait to get my copy. I cannot wait to buy my first copy because I'm gonna have it and I'm gonna keep it for generations because it needs to be an heirloom that we pass down our children. That's our history that they're going to try to destroy. And we have to have something in writing. We have this book is mandatory for every black household. It's mandatory. You ought to, what's the name of it? Do you have a name for it yet, Forecast? We
Yeah,
need to
it's
know because I'm just saying. Go ahead. What's the name of it?
the history of racism, the art of white supremacy. No, the guide to white supremacy.
We need that. We need
Mhm.
that. That needs to be a book in every black household. And we need to do a
Yeah.
sellathon. As soon as you get it written, we need to come on here and sell it. And they need to go ahead
Yeah.
and pre-order it now. Go ahead and get your copy right now because this is our history and we need to never forget. And we're not teaching our children our history. This is why they don't want to be African. You got Somalians living in an African country telling me I'm not black. What's wrong with you? This is what happens when we allow other people to educate our children. They don't want to be black. They don't want to be black. But thank you for the opportunity for me to learn too, because you teaching me. This is some stuff we talk about I've forgotten about, and some stuff I didn't even know about. But I'm learning, and I appreciate the history lesson. And don't stop. I don't care who don't like it. Don't stop. I want to see the fourth and the fifth and the sixth and the seventh book, just like we have the movies. Movies, what Walking Dead was 10 seasons. I want to see 10 seasons of books because we
Yeah.
have so much history that we've forgotten. I don't want us to ever forget. It needs to be volumes of your book. Volumes. Now this is volume one.
Well,
I hope you're working on volume 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Don't stop.
well, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I got like the first two already. I was gonna do a whole thing because I feel like it should be, and I guess
One
I
at a
will
time.
once they all done. Cause I feel like it should be one spot where all of our history in. But this one is already
And it will
like
be. It
done.
will
But
be.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
and so,
You
but
go ahead and
they
bring
was like,
you can put them together. Yep.
yeah, because people be like, "Yo, it's way too long to have that long." Because like, I went from basically from like 1400s to 2020, like, and I went through every single year of history from 1400s to 2020, like each year to try to find. And of course, I didn't get every single thing. But that's what I try to do to like find out exactly everything that happened. So if you look at it, you can find out everything through context. So when I be saying stuff on here, I guess it be sounding crazy, but I don't just be making it up. You know what I'm saying? When I say stuff, it's like for a reason. Like And I'd be like, you have no white friends and no white allies and all this stuff because history is repeating itself over and over. You know what I'm saying? So, and yeah, when I finish it, I'm aiming for like February. Like I'm just gonna give myself a deadline because really I probably could have been done like a year ago, but I'm gonna just do it in February. And then I guess even when I come on here, we'll just like listen to it. I'll try to find something to do, like a reading or something, and I'll do a live where we just listen to it or something like that. But we'll finish these lessons, and then you know what? I've been on this YouTube thing since before 2020. So shit, you can just go back and look up all the videos and see and get the whole history of us. Then of course there's more history like before all of that stuff. So, but anyway, I appreciate you, Cassidra, for taking the time to come through because you didn't have to do this. I straight messed up the time yesterday, and I messed up the time today. So, I
It's
definitely
okay.
appreciate you.
I'm glad for the heads up.
Yeah,
I don't like to miss the lives. I don't like to miss because they're so interesting and I love it. The opportunity
yeah,
is great. Thank you.
yeah. So we'll continue on with the story next time. So, I appreciate it. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.
Peace, family.